My stuff working? I think it's working. Happy Friday, everybody. I am just getting a couple of things set up real fast. Maybe updating a couple of the links. Yeah, you guys let me know how you're doing. Is it your Friday? Because some people's, it's not their Friday, even though it is Friday, if you get what I'm saying. Because language is a weird thing, and different things mean different things. And even though you're saying certain words, it can mean something different. So, you know what I mean by when I say, is it your Friday? Right? So, that kind of goes into the video that I released this morning. I don't know if this video was staged or not, but I thought that the guy debating Cliff was bringing up good points. And even if it was staged, I was going to use those points to prove a point. So that's where that came from. I forgot what I was doing. But anyways, as always, I'm Jay. Don't forget to throw away your feelings, open your minds, and question your beliefs. We're going to try to have some fun today, see how it goes. Like always, I have an hour on my schedule, and I say that, and then somebody comes in like at about 45 minutes, and then they talk, and then now I'm on here for like 5 hours, not 5 hours or whatever. You watched the Cliff Mitchell one. I thought that was a very, very interesting one. Thanks for watching that. And if you commented on it, that's good. Usually early in the morning, I'm getting to all the comments, and then sometimes if it's going really well, I get through them to the day. But I try to respond to almost all of them in some form or fashion. But if you have something really good to say that makes me think, that I will respond in likeness, I would say. So yeah, I thought that one was very interesting. And you just reminded me what I was doing. I was going over to my Nightbot and changing up some settings. Said we switched our schedule on Friday, so we're testing this new timeout to see if it works. Excuse me. So we're going to see if the later time works or if the morning time's better. So what's today's subject? If you didn't see this screen, I'll show you again. Does God remind you of anybody on this screen? Anybody on this screen? Does God remind you of anyone on this dang screen here? Just think about that one. And that's the subject of the day. And I credit this subject to one of my viewers. He put in the comments. I didn't take a screenshot of it. I should have, but it was on one of the latest videos. And he goes, "All I hear is a bunch of whiny, bratty babies saying things are mean like my children." So I was like, you know what? We are made in God's image, I guess. Because if there is a brat, the God in the Bible would be the biggest brat there is. So that's kind of what we're going to try to talk about today. Let me know if you agree, disagree. If you want to add to it, let me know. Let's see where this conversation goes. All right, what am I doing here? Latest video. If you haven't watched the video, just put it on your watch list. Obviously, don't leave the live, but put it on your watch list so you can watch it later. It wasn't too bad. God reminds me of Trelane from Star Trek, the original series. I had to look that up. I mean, I'm old enough to know Star Trek, but that one I'm actually not quite sure. So, interesting. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious God's a brat. I do want to hear some people. I think this is one of the things that maybe I can get the believers to agree with me on. They're just going to twist it into some other way, but they're going to be admitting that God's a brat. It's just going to be some kind of special pleading, right? So I think we might be able to agree on this, Christians and Muslims and other people that believe in monotheistic God, right? I think so. You guys don't forget to click your buttons, YouTube likes, all that stuff. Click your buttons, chat it up in the chat, because I think that's also something that gets over to YouTube, and YouTube thinks I'm special, and then YouTube sends my screenshot to other people. Sounds like how it works. I do have my candle lit. You can't see it. It's okay. But candle is lit. Don't worry, nothing's gonna set on fire. All right, so I have a list of things, right? So these are the topics you can pick from when you decide to call up, if anybody decides to call up, I have things like God demands worship, God's jealous, God punishes like a tyrant, God gets credit, not any blame. All right, so there's a few things I have down here on the list that we can kind of go through and talk about, and maybe you can try to convince me otherwise. But I think for the most part, we're going to get some people agreeing with us here. Like, I think the Christians will have to agree with me. They're just going to redefine what a brat is. Maybe that's the first thing we'll do, is have anyone that decides to call up define what brat means to them. I like to see how people start twisting what brat means, because in general, if I called somebody a brat, almost anybody would know what I'm talking about. But you know how it goes. When you start talking about sensitive things, then all of a sudden there's special rules, and we can't really talk to each other honestly anymore, because now my feelings are attached to this subject. And that happens in many things, by the way, right? Like, the closer you are to somebody, the more likely you are going to have those special pleading characteristics towards them. So that's also a hint at what we're doing, by the way. We see it in other places and you can recognize what's going on, but with this one, you don't recognize it, but it's still the same concept. You have some special meaning behind what we're talking about, so you will defend it and usually put your or dig your feet in even tougher or longer afterwards. Here's the thing: God of the Bible is way different from the God of the New Testament. We can say they're two gods, maybe. I would not say that is a weird statement to make from reading the Bible. I could see how people come to the conclusion that there are two gods. So that's why I don't mind as much when people bring up only the New Testament, which is almost what all modern Christians do, right? I think they themselves kind of admit that there's two gods, but they make an apologetic for it, right? It's the same thing as I was saying. I believe almost every Christian would say God has the traits of things we would call, or of people we would call brats. But because it's God, it's different. So I think all of this sounds the same to me. So I think no matter what, this is something that I can get Christians to come up here and agree with. And it's just going to be an interesting conversation to talk about what do you do with an all powerful brat, right? Because that's a more honest conversation. I would like to have that kind of conversation. If this God is real, first get a Christian to admit that this God is a brat, and then have a conversation about what do you do or what is it like, you know what I mean? What is it like if there's a brat? Because like I don't know if you guys seen the movie Brightburn. I actually haven't seen it yet, but I've seen like it's old, so it's like trailers and everything. I'm not gonna do any spoilers because I've never seen it. But it's always interested me, like the evil Superman, right? It's always interested me. So that's an interesting topic because there is a possibility that is what God is, and according to the Bible, God is that. Like if you read the Bible, God is that character that I'm talking about. And even in the New Testament, I would say that God probably still is that because Jesus is kind of a brat too. Right. So it's just like it's very, very interesting, man. Very interesting to talk about. Let's see if we can get somebody to come up here and be honest. And we'll go from there. So link is in the chat if you guys want to hop on up. Taking only adversaries at the moment. So no friendlies at the moment, but we're trying to see. Yeah, Jesus's bright burn kind of childlike brat stuff is like, hey, you don't love me, you're gonna go burn. You're gonna burn if you don't love me. I already know you are a cute police, cosmic, undercover, theistic enforcement. All right, I'm undercover. Okay, how you doing? Christians think of God like a superhero that actually exists, whereas atheists think of God as a superhero no one has ever seen on any network. Okay, okay. I really think this is an interesting subject, so I hope we can get at least one person in here because I think that's a very interesting topic. And like I said, the first thing that's going to happen is Christian redefine what brat means. But to me, I'm going to take that as you're still saying it's a brat, right? I have my description of what a brat is. You can call it whatever you want, but we're both saying that this being in this book has these characteristics, and that's all I care about. I don't care what we call it, because we are saying that I am saying that they're bad traits, right? These are bad traits, and we can name those bad traits brat, or you can name those bad traits God, right? Doesn't matter. I don't care. You know what I'm talking about, so I'm not gonna let you slide out of that. So we'll jump to the next step. Unless you think you have a rebuttal to the traits that I say God has. We can talk about that too, right? Of course, you don't have to just come in here and agree with me, but if you disagree, I'm going to ask for some very, very good evidence for your disagreement. And then first thing we're going to do is agree on a human example, right? We're going to both agree on what a human example would be of these bad traits and what we would call that human. And then we're going to judge God in that way as well. So, let's see. It's a little earlier, right? The last stream we did on Friday, we started at 3 p.m., I believe, 3 or 4 p.m. So today I did a little earlier. I had just got through recording a video, and I kind of want to try to edit it for maybe a Sunday video. Da, 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 da. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe we should get a game go while we wait. Let's see what YouTube games they got. All right, let's see. Sucks about that is I ain't gonna see if somebody jumps on. Like I said, link is in the pinned comment, so do that. So YouTube games. Let's see. I probably could play like some like some real games too. But I get distracted. I'm not trying to be distracted. I'm not trying to be distracted. Hey, what the heck happened? Oh, you guys see that Grand Theft Auto trailer? Or not trailer, but gameplay. There's like what is it? Like 30, 40 minutes? No, 26 minutes of gameplay. Let me know who in the chat is going to be playing Grand Theft Auto. I figure like the whole world is going to take a day off of work and play Grand Theft Auto, by the way. All the nerds, at least. All the nerds will be on that Grand Theft Auto. All right, hold on. Let me see. Games. But it looked pretty cool. I didn't thought it looked pretty good. I got a couple of games I need to get playing. Never managed to finish GTA 4. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you really finished GTA's, but if I guess if you just mean the story. Yeah, I never played the online. I only play the stories. So I played all of them. Yeah, I'm definitely nerdy. You can be nerdy on different things. I'm nerdy on that. Hey, what happened to my YouTube games? Did they take YouTube games off? I feel like something's up. Find out you gotta pay for it now. Mm-mm-mm. I don't know what y'all want to talk about while we wait. We're at about 20 minutes. We still got a little while. We're not gonna rush off. I'll at least stay an hour, so let me know what you guys, if you watched the recent video today. Let's discuss any of that. You guys had any questions on the video? Anything you thought was interesting about the video? I always like to. I would like one day to do one of the videos and kind of do a premiere where we can watch it live. So I really don't know what happened to YouTube games. What? I must have a filter on. Nope. don't know what happened. Man, I'm getting hungry again. Snack. But they got some poker. Playing over at Hustler Casino. I used to watch a lot of poker because I used to play a lot. I haven't played in a very long time. Yeah, I don't know what happened to YouTube games. Maybe they just moved it and I can't see it, but gaming? Is that it? Nope. Oh, there it is. YouTube playables. They changed it to playables. YouTube playables. We'll get somebody to come up here eventually. I hope so, at least. Other than that, like I said, I'll be going to edit some video. Let's try this one. Kick and run. I don't know about kicking and running. All right, let's see. Oh, no, I played this one. I don't like it. I've been playing this bowling game. I would like to start going bowling again. Bowling was fun. Don't know if Xbox and running a stream and actually I think my PC would be fine actually. Spiritual warfare, is that something from the video? I would say spiritual warfare makes no sense if God is all powerful. I think that's usually where I land on that one, because God's all powerful. God could, I don't know, the whole God being all powerful thing kind of cuts short a lot of the paths that I think you can take when it comes to God. Like it's tough. Like as soon as you say God is all powerful, it truly destroys so many arguments that you're going to be able to have, unless the God is a very specific God, and it would not be a good God that's presented, right? That's how troublesome saying something that it's all powerful is. As soon as you say it's all powerful, you literally put yourself in a very small ass box, and a lot of people don't like that. But that just is what it is. As soon as you do that, you're gonna be in trouble. Yeah, I figured that was your point. Like I was just thinking about it because I think it sounded like I didn't get it at first. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's a very troublesome thing. Interesting thing to talk about too, to be fair. It still ties into my God's a Brat thing, by the way. So, because in that instance, it would be the Brightburn kid not saving you from falling, even though it would be nothing, right? Like, so it's just like God would have to be doing that on purpose, and then nothing else would make sense after that, because even if you said God wanted to teach a lesson, that doesn't even matter either, because God's still all powerful, which means why would God care? And I don't know, there's so many dominoes that just knock it down. And I didn't really say that in a very coherent way, but there's so many things that just get destroyed as soon as you say God's all powerful. It's probably one of the first times I really started thinking about that. My first answer for myself was that God was not all powerful. Right, that was one of my first thoughts that I had when I was literally transitioning completely out of believing Christianity to be true at all. So that's kind of where I remember some of my first thoughts being like, well, okay, well, God just can't be all powerful then, right? But as soon as you fall down that trap, like that's a lot of dominoes right there too. Because as soon as you make that admission, that starts just knocking down all the other stuff you were taught that you just got rid of. So once you really start thinking about these things, the snowball effect is pretty insane. It's just you have to have that first recognition of the thought, and that means you really have to be questioning and testing out what you believe. You have to test these things over and over, by the way, because unfortunately, we cannot get rid of our feelings. So there's going to be days where you're more receptive to the truth, and then there's going to be days where you don't give a damn what the truth is, and you don't know when that day is going to come. You don't know. So that's why you literally have to be questioning these things all the time. Like, make sure you're straight. Make sure you're still thinking right. Like, you got to question yourself all the time. I mean it. I know I keep repeating myself there, but it is very important to keep. And it might even make you live longer. I don't know. Keep your brain thinking. Keep it moving. Keep it going. So that's my preaching for Friday. Friday night church. That's my preaching. All right. All right. I think I might have found a game about burgers. Should we cook some burgers? I don't know why I said burgers like that. Let me see. Yeah, let's play this burger game. Let's do that. Da 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 da. Right, all right. All right, we're gonna play a little burger. Theater mode. We go. All right, tell me to buy my first table. Put this over here. All right, I get bored, so do some stuff. Da, 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 da. Gotta buy a table. I don't even think there's sound, is there? What sound? Hold up. Maybe we don't want sound. I don't know. Oh, ouch. Oh, gosh. Oh, God, I should have did that. That's what I get. That hurt. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. If anybody had that on loud, that hurt. And if that got you, I apologize because that was loud. Golly. I hope that was just me because that was really loud. Look at my burgers. Hey, Kuroku, what's up? What's up? I guess I missed when you got in here. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, buddy. We're just waiting on somebody to come admit that God's a brat. That's all we're doing. Just trying to get them to admit that. No seats. Some seats. Da, 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 da. Hold on, bro. Clean my tables. Oh, you just got here? Cool, cool. I was probably preaching at the time. Wait, what the hell? I gotta get a hiring manager. All these burgers we got, bro. Burger, get your burger. Oh, hold up, no more seats, no more seats. Damn, that dude want 3 burgers. Hell. Oh wait, I gotta get money. We could debate if we got time to. I'm always down. Wait, what are you trying to debate about? Which subject you have? What's your debate topic? Oh wait, I gotta get more money. Bro, look at all these burgers these fools have at the table. Look at that. Let's see. Do I gotta throw my burger away? Hold up. Oh shit. All right, let's see. Let me pause this. Can I pause this? I don't even like this game. All right. You are saying. Hold up. Somebody come in? Nope. When you constantly have to add more exceptions. Yeah, I mean, you want to debate? I mean, what don't I agree with? If you have to keep making up so much shit that it's just not real. You know what I mean? And now, I think I agree with that. You got your God? Is that what you meant? All right, so wait, is that a real question? Your God is a spoiled brat. I don't know. It's like it looks like a question, but I don't know if it's a question. We're looking somebody first. Let's just get somebody that's a believer up here, and then we'll go down our list. I said I knew it was a little bit earlier. Last time we did 3:00, so we still got a little bit before 3. But yeah, that's the title. I mean, that's the subject. God's a brat. The story of God's a brat. Who knows if God's an actual brat or if there's an actual God? Nobody knows any of that. But the story of God. There we go. Yo, why are we throwing just plates in the trash? Can we be recycling or washing these? Yeah, yeah. Anybody want to come up and debate that God is not a brat, or admit that God's a brat, and then I have more questions. You are able to just tell the truth too, so I'll say that. I think we need another seat. Boom, boom, boom. Now, I'm not about burning books. Nope, no burning books, guys. Bury or burning. No, we keep our books. Like I said, it's just about educating people on what can be proven and what can't be proven. That's it. And then once a society is able to admit what can and can't be proven, we can now kind of interact in a better way. Even if people do have beliefs that they can't prove, right? There's You can't ever get rid of beliefs that people can't prove. So I'm not trying to do that. So I'm not trying to burn books. I'm not trying to get rid of anybody ever talking about Christianity or God. Nope. Not trying to do any of those things. All I want people to do is just when we're talking about this subject, come at it honestly and with a truly open mind, a true open mind. An open mind doesn't mean you accept any answer somebody gives, by the way. I think people use that as to be like, well, you're not taking my answer as me not being open minded. And I'm like, no, you actually have to give me something. You can't just say, oh, I think this is true, so that's what you have to accept. You have to show me reasons why you think that's possible or why you think that's true. We just don't jump to that subject. So it's like, I understand what I'm saying here, but no, I'm not trying to get rid of Christian uh, thought and believers or whatever. Just realize what you believe and it doesn't come, or sorry, there's no proof of it coming from some special place. Just like there's no proof of what I believe coming from any special place. No one has proof of their beliefs coming from any special place. So just because somebody wrote it down does not mean anything. It literally means nothing. And that's the thing that I just want to get across. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't matter how long a writing lasts. It doesn't matter how long our writings last. I would never want people in the future to look at our writings like they are something that is majestic and should never be changed. That's horrible. If you think all of the knowledge and rules that you have right now should never be changed, you are literally a part of the problem. So no, not trying to get rid of free thought. I'm not trying to get rid of any of those things. All I ask is if you have something to bring to the table, it can be scrutinized. That's it. I think that's fair. I'm not asking for so much either. Like I don't think what I'm asking for is not or irreasonable. I think yeah, if you don't accept what I'm asking for, like I said, you just don't care about things being true at all. But we should always want a society that has to prove the things that we want to govern ourselves by. We should have to prove these things. And these sensitive subjects are a part of it. Religion, all that. It's a part of all of it. It's a part of society. We have to be able to be honest about these things. And our excuse me, and our society gets better and better as we are more honest about these things, by the way. That is literally how progression works. You're honest that you were wrong and you try to fix it honestly, and then guess what? Things progress. So, pretty straightforward, man. The formula's right there. We have it. Like, we do have it. It's just, do we want to come together as a society and really ramp it up? Because as soon as we decide to do that, as soon as we all decide to really ramp up this truth machine, uh, the shit that can happen is probably pretty amazing. But we gotta be willing to do it. And if you can, and here's how I look at it: if you can be honest about the most sensitive things in your life, we could have really good relationships, would turn into really good cooperation, which turns into people literally taking care of each other. The snowball effect of being honest is it's such an amazing thing. Pretty cool when you really think about it, man. Oh yeah, that guy that left and whined. I think he just wanted to be mad at me. He didn't, because I wasn't really interrupting. Not I shouldn't even say really. I wasn't interrupting him. I was making my normal opening spiel, and that was it. Like he just didn't want me to say anything because I have my questions I want to ask and all of that, and he didn't want me to do it. He literally just like he wanted to be mad at me. I don't know if you ever worked in God, what am I thinking of? Golly, I don't know if you ever worked in like customer service or sales. There's sometimes the customer comes in and they just want to be pissed. It don't matter what you do. Don't matter what you do, man. Why can't I buy some tables? What am I looking at? I should be buying stuff by now. Hold up, yeah. Let's see what I can buy. Gotta be able to buy something. What? No? Oh, I'm supposed to be buying the hiring manager. I've been over here chilling. I've been working my butt off for no reason, yo. That crazy? Yeah, bye. Oh, my bad. Oh, yeah, let's get speed and let's get capacity. Let's get 2 employees. All right, we about to be balling, y'all. Look at that. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about what I said. Honesty, compassion, respect is so easy to do, yet it's why it's hard for theists to do. Hey, what up, Buck? Welcome back. No callers. I'm looking. Like I said, it's not 3 o'clock yet. Last time we did 3 o'clock and we had a bunch of callers coming in, but I wanted to get it started early because even though the last stream, I loved it, it was great. I was tired as hell. And I do want to get some content ready for either tomorrow or Sunday. So I got to be nice to myself as well, and my wife, and my kids. So, and actually, I actually just remembered I do have to take my daughter somewhere uh, about in a little while. Not a little while, but in a little while. In a little while. I mean, in a longer little while. But yep. Good afternoon. Welcome. Like I said, we are waiting for anyone that wants to either admit God's a brat and then we'll have a conversation, or somebody that wants to say how God is not a brat. So lines are open. Discord or the ninja link in the description, not in the description, in the comments or in the chat. Ooh, I keep throwing my burgers away. Okay, now I need to stop making burgers for no reason. I'm losing money. I'm acting like Americans, just throwing our food away while people are starving. So sad. I'm not laughing because that's like horrible shit. Like literally throwing food away. Crazy. All right. Yeah, I shouldn't even laugh at that at all because it's pretty sad. Like I said, maybe 3 o'clock. We got 18 more minutes. Maybe 3 will hit, and we'll get some hyped up people that just got off work at 3. Right? I think a lot of engineers get off at it's 3 my time. About 3. three universally. Whatever it is my time and everybody else's time, it seems to be that time where people are ready to go. Let's get another table in this bad boy. Give me that. Yeah, we needed more tables. Got somebody working the register now. That's what's up. How about we bring up, since nobody's ready, let's see if we can get some people riled up to come up here. Let's think of some bratty verses, right? We're going to start pulling up some verses. Verses that I think God is being a brat in them. All right, so let's pause this crap. Jay, I always say thank you for all you do and tolerate to every employer, and can't remember the last time I never got a smile or thank you. Oh, yeah. You're saying you're a good customer. I think that's what I just read, is that you're saying you're a good customer. Oh, we got our buddy Buck. He wants to come up. Let's see. I always don't mind. That's not even a good sentence, but I don't mind when Buck comes up. So let me get him in here. Make sure my mic's working. Is it working? What up, Buck?
Yeah, there you are. All right, hold on. Let me turn this one off.
All right. How's your Friday going?
There I am. Hey, I'm all right. Man?
Friday going good?
Well, I guess. Yeah, I guess I could say it's better than I deserve.
All right. Well, what makes you think you don't deserve it, man? Why do you think you don't?
Oh, because I'm, I mean, I guess that's the way I look at it. Is that the explanations of what's making me bad are the examples that we get from the Bible. The things that are not they're different for everybody. Everybody keys in on something else, but it's a matter of putting that on yourself and not on someone else, because it's not their fault that they're not doing everything. It's none of your business whatever their deal is.
And you're saying this is why you say you don't deserve it?
Not well, just because I'm a wretched, abusive person. I lie, I cheat, and steal, and do whatever I do. I mean, I try not to. I try not to, but I do. Even unintentionally,
Let me
I
ask
can
you this.
recognize.
I think this ties into what we're saying a little bit. I think the fact that you might say that, and this is kind of a form of a statement and question at the same time. That's why I say you might be saying that because of what we were raised into, of this religion that literally just makes you feel like shit. Like it's like the religion tells you how horrible you are. It's
I,
if
I,
if
I
it, if
I
it
get.
wasn't if it wasn't the book, like we would really be disgusted by a person that was telling their child every day that I love you, but you are just the most disgusting, vile creature that there
But
is.
it's.
Like if that was a person
I guess.
saying
I
that,
guess the thing is rather than projecting that onto somebody else, on your child, or on your neighbor, or on your or even on your political opponent, whatever it is, instead of projecting it on them, turning it back on yourself and saying, well, no, what can I do to make this whole situation better? How can I be, how can I be more quote unquote Christian, especially if you're going to follow these ideals, if that's what you want to aspire to,
yeah, but I
then
don't think it's healthy for you. I'm not saying you're doing this, by the way. I'm saying I don't think it's healthy for a Christian or any person to be sitting there bashing themselves.
I wouldn't say bashing yourself. I would say, and that's the thing we need to teach our youth, is how to evaluate and criticize themselves and everything else with some fairness.
Oh, I
You know
criticize
what I mean?
myself, but I don't bash myself.
Maybe you do, and maybe you teach your children to. But I mean, there's 20 billion other people out there who've got families and kids
Oh,
and
okay.
stuff
I,
doing
I get
this
what you're saying,
too.
but I'm saying maybe one of the reasons that it's so big in our culture over here. I'm only going to speak for the United States, is that it comes from this deep suited, rooted religion that we have just inside of all families over here, almost.
It's I wouldn't say so much the religion as the mindset that most people are in, which is tell me what to do. I don't want to think about it. Tell me what to do. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to be critical. I don't want
Okay,
to think about
so
who's
that
good,
that
bad, or
that's
whatever.
that's why people run towards the Bible. You're saying?
Well, to more, not just the Bible, but to somebody's interpretation of the Bible. Now, I can take the Bible, and then I can glean from it what I believe is important for me to take out of it. And then I can go to Lord of the Rings and I can take something else that's similar, even, and in congruence with what I'm trying to do with what I perceive life to be and my relationship with God. But I don't think I can put that on anyone else. And that's the other thing, is that, some people want to make sure that you believe the way I do because they don't want to
Okay,
fight
so
about
you know how
stuff,
you know how you said that you don't feel like it's harm. Or actually, I'm asking a question. Are you saying that it doesn't feel like you're harming anyone else, so it's okay to call yourself those negative words?
I, Uh, I don't think the example is to call yourself negative words, but it is definitely to recognize when you're doing something wrong. I mean, even if you make a mistake, even if you're an atheist and you lie to somebody and you get busted, or even if you don't get busted and you just feel bad and you decide you want to confess, you're going to have to come to terms with that. Yeah, I broke your trust. Sorry.
Got it.
Here's the deal.
So okay, so you're just calling that like the Holy Spirit, maybe, but an atheist also has that same version of what you're talking about.
Right, right. I mean, it's going to guide your conscience, maybe. I mean, I've often equated the two. Your
And I and I
conscience.
and I might be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Or yeah, actually, yeah, definitely correct me if I'm wrong. Do you think the Holy Spirit is a real thing, or is it just a consequence of people having to interact and make choices?
Mm, I don't know. I mean, that's
Hmm?
interesting because I mean, anybody could justify any atrocity because the spirit told them to do it, right?
Correct. You can
Um,
you can say that about anything. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Anything.
so I don't know that I think that's necessarily the case, but I think that uh, I think that it is whether we believe that guy or not. It is something that we have to consider in our world. The fact that somebody does think like that.
Things like
Does
what?
that make sense? By the fact that somebody has those feelings that are different than mine, I have
Oh,
to recognize that they do exist.
correct.
Like
That's what I
murder's
meant by
okay. I have
that's
no
what I meant by
problem
the
with murder.
interaction. Oh,
Right.
if they think that part, got you. So they think something
Right.
that's way drastic outside of what we would say, quote unquote,
The norms
normal.
is
Right.
right.
But at one point, because this is how I believe, at one point that was the norm, right? Like one point, I would have been a weirdo for thinking that you don't murder somebody. Do you agree with that? Like if I could go
Um.
back in
Well,
time, like I would be a weird one for thinking you don't murder people.
well, you might even still think this way. I can't believe you didn't kill that guy because he did this. You know what I mean? I can't believe you didn't kill that guy because he looked at your woman funny. You know?
Like if I'm like watching something and I think that as well.
Right. Right. You
So
know,
are we saying there's thought crimes or no? Hold on, make sure.
no, 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 not to say that there's thought crimes, just to say that, uh, uh, I mean, how do you police those? I guess
I,
they're figuring it out. Huh?
yeah, I mean, honestly, I think eventually if we keep living along, we'll find out how to do some crazy shit. We've already done a lot of
Yeah,
crazy stuff.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I can only
But
imagine actually what we don't see that we have, by the way. But
the so I mean, I guess the thing is that I mean, I look at it from an interactive or an introspective manner as opposed to retrospective and making sure that the world around me is comfortable for me to live because I feel that there's discomfort and there's peace and
yeah, but how do we have
experience equals
how do we keep a society that can
discomfort.
feel peaceful inside? How do we keep a society that can feel peaceful inside when they're brought up to literally call themselves bad people?
Well, we got to quit bringing them up to call themselves bad people, even though they recognize, hey, you
S-
did
s-
some wrong there.
Right, but
You're
what would
not a bad person because of
you?
it.
Why do
But
you call
but
people
hey,
sinners, or do you call people sinners?
uh, I don't go calling people sinners. I mean,
Well,
I call
I mean,
myself a
okay,
sinner.
okay. Would you
I call
say
myself a
people are?
sinner because
Oh yeah, but that's the
I
same
try
thing.
not to.
You are people,
I
brother.
try,
You're people. You're
I
people.
try not to blame anybody else. I mean, yes, I
But to
have
me,
my
but
own.
oh wait, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think even if you're blaming yourself like that, it's bad. It's not necessarily just you saying it to other people. I think if you talk to yourself in that way, it is bad. I don't like.
It's not right. I don't say we should talk to ourselves in that way. I think we should talk to ourselves in a realistic way and teach our children how to do this, how to look at what did I do? Why was it a problem? Why was it good? Why was it bad? And
Sure,
then evaluate that.
I agree with all of that. That's just emotional intelligence and figuring things out. So I agree with
That's what
that.
people need. People
But I
need in order to figure out that they're getting duped by a by a politician.
right, but my point still is in order to be capable of even thinking on the highest level, you have to have a bit more pride in yourself. You have to have pride in order to want to get your intellect better and get smarter and to improve. But if you're
So
just told all
that's
the
a
time that you are this unworthy thing, which is from the Bible, uh, it will eat at people. It will eat at
I guess
generations.
I guess it starts to talk about where you draw the line of, well, let's see, how would I say this? Hmm. How much of the world are you going to put upon your shoulders? If you're going to put being a millionaire with a mansion and a yacht, are you going to be putting your family on your shoulders? Or are you going to be putting your spiritual existence on your shoulders? Whatever it is. That's kind of the
Correct, but you have to think you're worth something in order to be
but
better.
I don't think self-criticism,
No, no, no.
and
We're not
I'm
talking
not
about that,
talking
right? We're
I'm
not
not
talking about
talking
that.
about
Go ahead,
no,
go ahead,
no,
go ahead.
I'm not. We are talking about how we approach self-criticism. Because if I tell myself I'm just a sinner, I'm not going to get into heaven, everything like that, yeah, I'm going to fulfill my own prophecy. However, if
Eh,
I
Oh,
do
okay.
talk to
One
myself
one
just to
fast? Because
say,
you
what
just
did
said
I
that.
do?
Wait, one second.
What
Because you
did I?
just said something that I wanna. That's my example of what you just said is my example of what it means to not have pride in yourself. Do you agree with that? Because what you just said was
No,
somebody
because,
kind of
well,
dogging themselves, right?
all right, let me since you're using this word, I better talk to you about it, in my opinion. The word pride is a difficult word for me to utilize. I try to stay away from it.
Okay.
Um
I
because
don't
I
think
do
pride is bad.
recognize,
By the way, pride is not bad. Anybody like
I,
I don't think pride is bad. Nope. Sorry.
I'll just tell you that's just the word that I try and avoid. I understand what you mean when you say pride, and I understand it, so it's hard for me to go ahead and say, yeah, I get it, because I understand your meaning, but I don't think you're getting what I get. And so let me explain what I understand pride to be. I believe pride to be a haughty, which is a superiority type of feeling because you have this knowledge, or this experience, or this authority to exact your will on someone else.
Wait, that's what you get out
Okay.
of pride? That is like okay, what would
Yes.
you say if somebody
Yes.
is
That's what
uh
I call pride, because
you get all
because
of that out of pride. You get that all
because
of that.
when God's talking about Adam being prideful with nobody else in the entire garden but God, this is the story context here. Okay, I don't believe it happened like that, but the close
Sure,
story
sure.
context
Yeah.
is Adam was told he was being prideful, and that was his punishment, which means he was trying to surpass. And I understand that you have a problem with the idea of a parent not wanting his children to get bigger and better than him. But I do think that there was some
Yeah, you agree with that, right?
there's a line
Should your
there's a
child
line
should your child not
there's a
want to be
line in the
better than
sand.
you?
There's a line in, anyway, as far as that goes, I recognize you have a problem with it, but I do see the line in the sand that you're talking about. And I'm not crossing it. That's what I'm trying to feel. So I do have self-respect. I do think I have talents and abilities and
All right. I got a
wit
question because
and
this
that
will
kind of
help.
thing. But I don't talk to myself by saying, well, I don't make a habit of talking to myself like, "Oh, you're an idiot, Bucker." Blah, blah, blah. I
All
mean,
right, all
maybe
right.
sometimes in jest, or sometimes when I'm really disparaged. But for the most part, I do try and recognize
Okay.
my
No, no, you're
role
good.
in
You're
the
good. I got you.
unfortunate events of my life.
Because
Okay.
all right. So the next thing is because I'm trying to really hammer down on why I don't think pride is a bad thing. So you brought up the Bible, so I'm like, okay, like you're right. Maybe we should stick to the story of the Bible. Um, I would say, wow, what did I just say? Glad.
Yeah.
God creating everything for His glory is prideful. What
Right,
do you?
and not a line for us to cross.
No, 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 no,
Right.
no, no,
I
no. I'm saying
recognize.
no, no,
I
no.
recognize.
I am saying God doing it is what you say is bad about pride. God creating everything for God's glory is the bad thing you're talking about. But I don't think you would say God is being a bad person, uh, being creating things for His glory. But I am saying that's what the bad pride would look like.
Well, I, and that's I do, like I said, I recognize your line in the sand. I see where it is, and
Yeah, but what do you
I'm
say to
humble, and
that? What do you say to it? What
I
do you
guess
say
I'd
to it?
say I'd say that I recognize my humility, that there's just some stuff in the world, no matter how much smarts I get, that I'm just never going to be able to figure out, and maybe I'm going to put that to God, and that could be the fact that, you know, the universe or the time space continuum or any of that stuff that is scientifically motivated, that we still don't have answers to. That all of that is God, at least in His knowledge, to
No, no,
me.
no. I think you're missing my point on the prideful thing because you're
No, no,
saying
no.
having pride is
I
bad,
don't.
right? Pride is
I
bad, right?
don't miss the point. I think it's bad for humans. I don't think it's bad for God. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
That
I
does
think
that
God. I think
that is
God can
special
have pride.
pleading. That is what special pleading is.
Maybe it is, but it's probably the only place I'd specially plead. And it's my own personal thing, and I don't think you have to accept it. I recognize that you
But
don't now, and I don't think I'm
I
going to
don't
try and convince you otherwise.
I don't know if you really believe that. Do you think the person with the most power should at all cases be the one that can have what you're saying is bad? Because you're saying pride is
No,
bad,
no,
but you're
no,
saying
not the person, but I'll distinguish that person from God. I don't
yes,
care what person you present me with, even if it's Jesus Christ Himself. I
how
would
do
even
how do we
distinguish
decide
that from God.
how do we
I
decide
would
what a
distinguish.
person is, Buck? What a person is, how do we decide what a person is?
Uh, well, I mean, it's a human thing. I guess we call. I guess we've used person to indicate the identity of God, but I do have my problems with the whole thing, the whole book, as far as as far as buying every single thing is what it says. I I do try and see what it tries to consistently convey,
Okay.
and there's things I outright reject from it, slavery and misogyny and all that sort of stuff. I'm not a big fan of any of that stuff.
Yeah, but my problem is
But
as soon as we say God can do anything, we aren't saying anything is good or bad anymore. Like if God can just do
no,
whatever, there
I also don't put my morality on God either. My morality is mine own.
but
Whatever I decide is moral is what's moral.
you
If I
did
don't
do it
decide it's
because
moral,
you said having pride is bad unless you're God. So that is doing that. You are saying that you what you just said you don't do, you are doing because you're saying that God's morals are this and they're above our morals in every single
no,
way.
no, I didn't. Well, wait. Let's back up a minute.
Okay.
My understanding of morals is that you have morals and I have morals that may not align with God's morals, either one of us. That's the way I see it. So God has morals too,
But can God
I don't know that He's made them as clear as a lot of people pretend that they are.
right, but we
So,
does God think
but
pride is bad? Let's do that. Does God think
I
pride
believe
is
that.
bad?
Does
Uh,
God think pride is bad?
Correct.
Um, because He thinks it's supplanting Him. Yes, it's a jealousy.
All right, so
Yep,
do you
another
see
bad
why
one.
I say God's a brat?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I totally see your line in the sand.
all
I
right,
totally see it.
all right. That's
I
God's a brat, man. That's a bratty move. That's a brat. Like I don't know what else to say. That is a brat. And and we would never accept someone in our society. This is what's weird to me, Buck. We would never want somebody in our society to behave like God behaves. But when God does it, it's considered something to worship. Isn't that weird? Like
Well,
you, it's
now
like
I
it's
don't.
like it's like you wouldn't let God into your home if it was a person. It's like I don't even know how to say the words correctly because it doesn't make sense to me. Because we're saying there's this being that does things that we consider bad if we were to do them, but since it's this being, it can do them. But if it was
Well,
me, I wouldn't want it around me. But if I don't want it around me, you don't believe this part, by the way. So Buck doesn't believe this part. If I don't want it around me, it's going to punish me. At least I think you don't believe that. Correct me if I'm wrong.
if I don't want don't want something to.
Right. So like if there's a bad guy outside that
Oh, right,
like I don't want him around. But
right.
that
Yeah, I
that
know. Yeah, yeah.
in this scenario that's God. Like that would be
You know,
God.
that's the scenario he tells you about when you forgot about me in prison and left me out to starve in the cold. That's the scenario exactly he's talking about. And my understanding of God is a lot more unconventional. I don't see him as necessarily as a I don't s- I guess I would be using person in a special way
Yeah.
because I don't see it as a person, but I do think it has some sort of cognitivity. I don't know if it's how involved it is with anybody particularly, all that kind of stuff. I can't give you arguments for all that stuff. But if you feel it, if you feel good about it, then good, fine, whatever.
No,
So long as
I
we're
know you're
not
chill with it. I know you're chill with it.
long just so long as, yeah, you're not going to be one of them shady people running around outside that we should be talking to and talking
No.
down
Well, the thing is me and
as opposed to
you
calling the cops and sending them to prison.
me and you would
Does
both
that make
go
sense?
well me and you would go both together to go handle the people that we're both talking about. My only point was it's just weird that we punish people like that on earth, but we say God is awesome for being that same thing. That's just really it's really strange to me, but we don't have to go the circle again. So
Right.
I'll let you either switch the subject or if you're done that's cool too.
You got anybody waiting on
No,
you?
no, the person just left, so you're good to
Oh,
go. Yeah.
okay. Well, let's see. What did I think about? Um, but I haven't been pondering too much really actually recently, but I have tried a little bit. But I do just because I've been caught up in a job change situation,
Okay, okay.
trying
Hope
to
it
figure
works
that
out.
stuff up a bit. Thank you. But other than that, there was something that I was thinking about.
What did you think of
Oh,
the last video? Oh, you
In
got
fact,
something? Go ahead.
in
Go ahead.
fact,
Go ahead.
yeah, I was going to tell you. I sent you a video today,
Yeah, I
and I
think I
don't know if
saw
you
it.
saw there was two of them. There was one was Dolly Parton singing a pretty little song, whatever.
Yeah, I see it. I didn't get
I
to
was
watch it yet.
I initially I initially was wondering what your thought was on that from a you know perspective, but then I saw this other video, and that was the guy that really got me ticked off, and I didn't want to share it because I didn't want to bump up his algorithm. But
Oh, okay. What was he talking about? Or
but
you wait, you sent it to me. I'll watch it. I just haven't watched it yet. I had to do a lot of
yeah,
stuff this
yeah,
morning.
yeah. Yeah, I'll leave you be to think about it. But yeah, that guy was like totally. I don't know. He pissed me off. Uh, and not that I care uh, so much one way or another about whether Dolly was saved or not, but
Oh,
I
okay,
was like,
okay.
that's not.
Now you got my interest peaked. So yeah, I'll definitely now definitely
That's
probably I'll
not.
go watch it.
Yeah, yeah. I don't wonder whether Ozzy was saved either. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know,
I'll be fair on
there's
that subject, man. I don't like it's weird. Because that's why I say I don't really know what's going on. So I guess that just makes you agnostic, I guess. I try not to put too many labels on this. I either think you just believe or you don't, and then there's just a big ass group of don'ts and they don't know what to call themselves. So it's just like because like a lot of people don't know like the atheist word because of how it used to be presented, right? Uh And then now it's labeled a little bit better as to just literally just not knowing, right? There's not enough proof, so I have no clue. But definitions get way too crazy. But anyways, you got
Yeah.
me interested in that, and we'll see how that goes. Cause yeah.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, then,
All right.
yeah, I'll duck out and let someone else pop up. You have a great day, and hope you have a good weekend, bro.
All right, bro. Good luck on the job hunt.
Thank you, bro.
Peace.
Peace.
All right. Their main man Buck. We did have somebody pop on the video ninja, but I messaged them I'd get right to them, but I guess they couldn't wait or didn't want to wait. So all good. That was I like that conversation. I think we got to hit a couple of things there. I got to make some points I had wanted to make, and I figured Buck would have agreed that me calling God a brat, but also just agree that yeah, that's just how it is, right? So I don't know. Buck's honest, so I'll just say that that's how short conversations are when you're honest about these things. By the way, right? When you're honest about God and the Bible, conversations get very short. The only thing that makes these things go on long is when people start making shit up. So that's all it is. You can't love something that you don't. All right, I mean, I don't know. That's weird. Let me say this: it is very hard to love something that you've never met. There you go. It's very hard to love something that you've never met. Like I think that's the fairest way I can say it. I think that's fair. But yeah, line is open. We got Discord open or the link that's in the chat open. Guys, don't forget to click your buttons. If we get another caller, I'll stay a little longer. Currently, nobody waiting, so we'll be at. I mean, we still got a while. Don't get me wrong. It's like because 2 hours is like once I get a call, I get some energy, and then I can wait some longer time. So we're at 1 hour and 12 minutes, but now I'll get us to 2 hours to see if anybody gets hyped enough to call up. I know it's tough sometimes too. I know I don't mind people chatting too. So sometimes I get on people for not hopping up if they're chatting, but sometimes you're at work, sometimes you're busy, you can't jump on the line. So I don't mind the conversations in the chat as well. Sometimes I keep up with them, sometimes I don't. So if you see me quiet, that's kind of how it is. All right, so we got somebody. Let me get the screen up. Da, 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 da. Right. I think I'm good. Hello.
Hello. How are you? I just found your channel on YouTube.
Well, welcome. What should I call you?
My name is Shane.
Shane, I am Jay. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Yep, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm getting feedback. You hear me now? Okay.
Yep, I got you. You sound great.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I was just listening to your last caller and realized that wow, there's a lot of what he was saying I disagree with, and it's like if you disagree with your own God, why do you have faith in him? Why do you have faith in what the Bible has to say? I heard him multiple times say that. Then what are you getting out of practicing intellectual dishonesty to this imaginary being in the sky? If you disagree with him, then why say you're a Christian if you disagree with him so much?
We kind of talked about this yesterday. just I'll let you continue, but since you that point where it was everybody since the beginning of this religion's history, to me, has been doing exactly what you're talking about. I don't know if you agree on that. Um, as soon as this religion was made, whatever, if we want to put a date on that, I don't care. After that fact, it is a religion that allows you to literally make up anything because the book has outs in it. So, you literally, that's why I think it's a horrible book. Everybody can make it into what they want to make it into, and that's why I feel like most people think it's special. But go ahead.
I absolutely agree with you, and they're cherry picking their beliefs at that point, which really makes no
Cut out a little bit. Just so you know, you cut out,
and
so we missed about like 20 seconds.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying we missed about 20 seconds. Yep. All right. He'll probably come back. He came back before. He might just be disconnecting. So yeah. I'm assuming that was there he's back now. Okay. All right. Try it again. All right, you look green now. Your bars are going orange and green back and forth. So but yeah, we'll give him time to come back. I'm assuming that's atheist, I guess. I don't know. It could sorry, or a very hardcore Bible believer. One or the other. Yeah, I mean, that seemed like it was going to be interesting. But thanks for calling in. If you can't call back, that's cool, but I appreciate you. It just looks like your bars were having some issues. So, yep, anybody else? Line is open. God is a brat. Yeah, and I guess Buck, if you really want to, and you if our gentleman comes back, I forgot name. Sorry, I had to hear a name multiple times, so I apologize. But if he comes back, I don't want to speak for you, Buck. I would allow you to come up here and you guys have a chat, but that'd be up to you. I was going to give my opinion on what I thought you meant or said, or I did give my opinion. So I will not speak for you officially, though, of course. And if you didn't hear, I feel like the argument was kind of what you did admit already. Why are you cherry picking out of the Bible? And if you do cherry pick, what is the point of worshiping that God? If I can kind of wrap up what the question was, I think that is the question. You're welcome to hop back onto the Discord, Buck, if you want to answer it. All right, you did. Okay. All right, so you're back on the Discord. What's up? I was gonna let you speak for yourself. Yep, go ahead. Oh, you might be cutting out a bit.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go. All right, got you. I think I got you.
hey, who's up?
Well, he won't be in Discord, but he's not even here yet. So it would have been on the Video Ninja. He dropped the call, but I wanted to allow you to speak. That's all. Like I don't know how you felt about that.
Yes, I would. From what I heard before he cut out, I would say that we all cherry pick our beliefs. That's how we come up with our beliefs. That's why your beliefs are different than mine, because you cherry picked those things and I cherry picked something else.
Do you think when we're because just to be fair to him, and if he comes back, like I said, y'all can talk. But he's saying since you pick it out of a book, it's a little bit different. Because why not throw away the whole book? Because this whole book is supposed to encompass this God that you're speaking of, right?
Well, I would say that if uh, No, the whole book doesn't encompass the God. The whole book was written by a bunch of men who had some experience with God that may be valuable to me, but may not be. But I can find other valuable stuff, like in Lord of the Rings or in Star Wars or in uh, 50 First Dates. I mean, as far as that goes, or even, real literature, you know.
Yeah.
I
I,
don't want to, I
I
don't want
believe
to
your thoughts
withhold.
are like you're saying that God is kind of in everything to you. I think that's what I get from talking to you a lot.
As far as far as literature and art, and
Yeah.
not just yeah, and music, and also in sculpture and expression. I think that's, I guess I'm an artistic person, so as an artistic person, I guess I gravitate towards that realm and feel that God's within that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Well, I just wanted to let you come up and speak for yourself since your name got brought up. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
that, which is cool, and yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you can have back at him if he comes back up, and that's what I got for him, at least to what I heard
Okay.
before he cut out.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
But yeah, thank you.
Yep. Right. Yeah. Just because I mentioned him, I was let him come up here and make sure I was kind of correct on what he believes. So, all right, lines are open. If anybody wants to chat, I need to fix my settings. Let's see. Settings. Yeah, I don't know what I'm switching. All right, whatever. I'll leave it alone. All right. Well, I'm always happy when I get to talk to anyone. So I got like some mini conversations in. So that's cool with me. Remember, topic today is God's a brat. I think we see that God's a brat throughout the whole Bible. So come on. I can't talk. Come on up. Step on up. And let me know why I am right or why I am wrong. Don't be scared. We got about, I'm going to say like maybe 30 more minutes unless I get a call. Welcome, everybody. Be sure to say hello in the chat if I hadn't said hello to you yet. It's kind of hard to see, but if you guys add me, say hello. I always like to see new faces, old names, new names, just to see who's watching so I can start remembering people, I like to know a little bit about everybody, even if it is just a name. But yeah, welcome back, everybody. Another subject, like I said, can be on the video that was just released. I thought it was a very interesting video. Oh yeah, fix your old face now. Hopefully we keep growing. We're almost to 6,000 subscribers. That's a good shout out to you guys for sharing this content. So I definitely appreciate that. More people I can debate with in my comment section. That's like awesome. I have this awesome feeling when I roll over at like 4 a.m. because I wake up at 4 a.m. almost every morning. And then I open my phone and then I'll see YouTube. And then I like, oh, that wakes me up because it's like, oh, people want to debate and talk. And then that kind of gets me going in the morning. So we haven't been doing this long, so we're growing and I appreciate it. I think I got a little different style to this kind of stuff, so hopefully people like it. And if you don't, that's okay too, because I actually take a lot of criticism to heart as well. I think a lot of my improvements come from people talking shit about my video or something. So I take all of that. Like I said, I'm all about the truth. So I would rather somebody say things nicely, but if they don't, it does not mean I won't hear what they're saying. I just may not treat you with any more respect than you're treating me. But for the most part, I do still critique myself from what people say, because to me, the truth is all that matters. And even if somebody's talking bad about you, you might want to think about if it's true what they're saying. So that's what I mean by throw away your beliefs, right? I say that every time, and I mean it. When you really want to seek the truth, you do have to throw away your feelings. And that is also a part of that process of what me and Buck were just talking about, of having emotional intelligence, is the fact of being able to know what kind of emotions you're having so you can control them, so you can be in that state that I'm talking about in order to be honest and evaluate every situation correctly, or as close to optimal for you as possible, you know. So I think that is just the way to be and think. You can't be and think that way all the time, but you can try and practice and get yourself in as close to that state as possible at every moment in time. And then that's just what we call like people that are like superheroes, or people that are really great at those things. They can just keep themselves in that closer to that state, so they can jump into that state that I'm talking about, almost at a whim, right? If a pressure situation comes up, they can jump into that state that I'm talking about. And in order for us to have more people in society that can do that, you have to shed some of these things that don't allow you to ever be in that state. So, you know, it's something that people should think about as well. So, looks like we do have somebody here that wants to chat. Hello.
Yeah, what's going on, man?
All good. Should I call you
T.
T?
Yeah.
All right, T. I'm Jay. What you got for me?
All right. So like now, do you mind explaining like why you say that? Now, I mean the title.
Oh, God's a brat.
Yeah, you mind like explaining that so I will understand, so I can know like,
Yeah,
how to, you know what I'm saying?
sure. So if you have somebody that can punish you or hurt you, and they have the power to do that, right? So that's just like another person to me, another being to me that can think about it. If they do that for no reason, or if they do that just because of their own reasons, that is the beginning stages of a brat. Like, that is the most basic example I can give. So God gets mad because you don't believe in him. That's a brat. There's no reason to get mad because somebody doesn't believe in you. Just like I would tell my child, there's no reason to get mad because someone ignores you. I would call my child a brat if they cried every time somebody ignored them. So go ahead. I hope that answered your question.
Oh, okay. I mean, but he but with that there's two things with that. One he laid out instructions like he said, hey to do these things. If you don't do this, if you do this, I will do this. If you don't do that, I will do this. And then he says, lean not on your own understanding and just trust me.
Okay. I agree. I agree. That's what it says. And but keep going. I feel like you got more. I'll let you land your point. I think you actually got a point to that, right? And if you're talking, you might have unplugged something because I can't hear you.
Okay. So it's like if we obey, good things will happen. If we don't, bad things will happen. So it's quite, I mean, it's plain and simple, you know?
Got you. I was going to say that sounds simple. So yeah, okay. So we both came to agree. That does sound very simple. And on the surface, to me, I actually don't have much of a problem with what you're saying. So if I give my child some rules, right? I tell them not to do things, and I'm doing it because I know what's best for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when my child misbehaves, and they do, I actually feel like I'm a bad person if I get angry at them. The whole point of them getting in trouble is for their own good, not for my fulfillment of my own pleasure and me being happy, or me or them even listening to me. I don't tell them these things because I have to have them listen to me. I tell them these things because I think it's the best for them. So at no point should I be actually angry and wanting to punish them. I should want them to learn. Now, as human beings, we are kind of just dumb apes, so we punish our offspring in ways I don't think God should have to. And that's why I'm bringing this up. So I actually don't even believe in spanking your kids, but we still punish our childs in ways, and we call better parents ones that don't have to actually physically harm their kids, because that is considered the least best way of disciplining your kids. They're not going to learn anything. They're just going to learn fear. So I would still say God is a brat, and because you can be an adult brat, by the way, and I hope you agree with that. So God is a brat because God can teach me a lesson without harming me, but God chooses not to do it that way because God's feelings are hurt. And I spoke for a while, so I'm going to let you respond for a while too. So go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, it's like we are like us, like we are very hard headed like folks. So like the only way we learn is by pain.
Well, right, but now you're comparing us to people, right? Like I'm sorry. I am saying I agree with you. As human beings, we have not figured out how to train our kids, our offspring correctly. I am saying that's true. It doesn't make it right, and we find out in a lot of studies, physically harming your children does not help them learn. Right? So my point is, we have a God that is all powerful. That's the first thing we have to recognize here. We have a God that is all powerful. If I am that powerful that God can't teach me a lesson, is God really that powerful? Like, does God really have to harm me for me to learn? Or is there or is God this ultimate mind that should be able to show me where I'm falling short or how to improve without physically harming me? What do you think on that one?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, but it's like he came with you. It's like he ain't just like it's like he on what God is saying. Listen, these are the rules. I'm gonna give you the rules very plain and simple. These are the rules. And if you follow these rules, it means that you love me, and and I will, and I will, and the rules.
Cutting out a bit. You're still cut out. So just once you get back connected, restate the last 20 seconds. That's all I can say. Once you get back on. And if you're done, I got a question about like the rules part, but I'll wait till you tell me you're back. I'm enjoying the conversation, so I hope you get back. All right. So we'll see if he comes back, but I think that was okay. I think I could have went a lot of places with that one. So I'll be happy if you call back. T, T, yeah, T, call back if you can, because I think we can go somewhere and start digging into the rules thing and what it means to follow rules, right? Just so if you connect back on, T, I'm kind of talking to you right now, so you kind of know where I'm going to go with this, because I don't only follow rules because I love somebody, right? So I think that criteria is a little strange to me. That God wants me to follow rules because that shows love. I don't think that's how rules work. Um, yeah, I just don't think that's how rules work. Like there's like rules are instructions. So I don't follow the instructions, and this may be a bad analogy. Let me know if I'm wrong here. I don't follow the instructions on how to fix my car because like of the love or anything like that. Like I just want my car to work, right? So like I don't necessarily love my car. That might be a bad analogy, but let's see if he's back. Are you back, brother?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You
Did
mean
you?
me?
Yeah. Did you hear what I said? Yeah. T. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I mean, you mean on your car?
Yeah. Well, so I'm saying I don't follow rules out of love, right? I don't harm people out of love, but that's different than following rules. Like I don't follow rules because I love the police officer or anything like that.
I mean, I'm saying it just shows. For example, you got kids like.
Yeah, you cut out by the way, but I'm assuming you probably got a really bad signal, brother. I'm assuming you're going to say that if my kids follow my instructions, that proves they love me. I'm saying that's not true. There are plenty of children that follow their parents' instructions that do not love their parents. So I do not equate rule following with love. That's my whole point. That's kind of what I'm saying. Like their rule following does not mean you love somebody. That's kind of it. Is this UT?
You talking
Hello?
about me? I just joined.
It's new person. Oh. Hey, who's this? Sorry. What's
This is Pyro.
Oh, I thought I heard you before. Okay. Yeah, what you got, Pyro?
Yeah, I was just wanting to kind of talk about the whole rules thing, like you was talking about.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening.
Well, yeah, it's always interesting to me whenever somebody says like we ought to follow the rules of God, right? Um, for instance, like the Ten Commandments, but that's the Old Testament, correct?
Right.
And
That's
in
the
the Old
excuse.
Testament, there are other rules like in Leviticus and stuff, and like how to own your slaves, how to beat your wives, and how to beat your slaves, and all these other things. So, if we ought to follow God's rules, should we also have slaves?
Right. Yeah. That's definitely where the path we would have gone eventually here. 1 second.
Yeah.
Is that UT?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I gotta go go to run to the bathroom. But we have Pyro. Just had a couple questions for you. He's cool too, by the way. Ain't nobody about to bash you or anything. Just some questions.
Oh no, it's all good, man. It's all good. Like, now, either way, now I mean, I'm good, bro. Now I mean, I'm prepared for anything, bro. But
All
yeah,
right.
bro.
I'm
It's
just
all
making
good.
sure. Hey, ain't no bashing here, bro. So that's all I'm saying.
Hey,
All right,
how's it
bro.
going?
Hey, what's up, man?
I'm doing good. Yeah, I was just listening to like the whole rules thing. Like, you think we ought to follow like what God's rules are, right?
Uh, oh yeah, absolutely. That's our whole point on earth,
Right.
to
But
follow on God's
so
rules.
like in Leviticus, right? There are certain rules on how to like own slaves. Should we follow those rules too? Yeah, I'm still here. Well, I was saying in Leviticus, there are rules on how to own your slaves and what to do with like the nations around you. Should we also follow those rules and go and get slaves?
Um, See that, like, the whole, like, the Bible is speaking to only one group of people.
What do you mean? I think he left or dropped. Maybe he'll be back. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, what was you saying?
Oh yeah. Like so that one. See, it's only speaking to like one. It's only speaking to like one
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. You dropped again. I'm just by myself here. Yeah, I don't know what to say if I'm just up here by myself, and I think Jay's still using the bathroom, so I think he'll be back soon.
My bad. Did they disconnect again?
Yeah, they disconnected a few times. They haven't really been able to talk.
Oh, that's too bad. Hey T,
no.
maybe when we get on some Wi-Fi, you can call back.
Oh wait, he's back.
Okay, man.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, just call back when you get a better connection, bro. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Alrighty. All right, Pyro. Maybe I'll call you up if somebody else calls again. I might be ending shortly, but thanks for coming up, bro.
Yeah, no problem.
Yep. All right. Yeah, that would have been an interesting call, but we want people to be able to actually defend what they're saying. I'm not trying to just get clips or nothing, so I want people to be able to talk. So yeah, that would have been an interesting one. Yep, so lines open again. Anybody wants to chat? We had somebody that disagreed about God being a brat. At least that's what it sounded like. But here's just my take on that short conversation was God's not a brat because God is the one that makes the rules. So you can't call somebody that makes the rules a brat. But that is why I had this image. Brightburn. Brightburn is God finding out that it's God. Right? So now the power switches and God becomes the one that can make all of the rules. But now with making the rules becomes more responsibility because when the roles were reversed, the parent couldn't treat the Brightburn kid like it wanted to, or like he wanted to, or like they wanted to. Right? So why is it okay for God to do that? I couldn't just do whatever I want to my child because they don't follow the rules. We literally have laws against that. Right? Like we have laws against this. Why do we have laws on ourselves that we don't require of God? And I'm bringing this up for a reason because I'm starting to tie this shit more into the politics because I believe the religious thinking goes into politics as well. Why do we allow people that have more power than us to not have the harsher or even the same rules as us, by the way? That is something to really think about. And it's because, hey, thank you for that super chat. New Gen Rationalism. I said that horribly. New Gen Rationalism. Hey, how else could I join Shorts or Shots link doesn't work? Shots link. The video ninja link doesn't work? Really? You can come to the Discord. 1 second. I don't know if the link's called Shot, by the way, no clue. But let me do this and I'll post the link in here for you. So thanks for that $1.99 super chat. You don't have to super chat to get the link though. That's not the rules or anything. So if you can't join the Video Ninja, you can use that link. Oh, shorts, gotcha. Try that link. Please have a Discord account because if you try to sign in as guest, it just doesn't work, man. Yeah, you would not want to live under biblical laws. I agree with you, John. What's up, John? I don't know if I said hello. Jamie, what's up? Q, what's up? What's up, Q? Talon, what's up? Erlan, what's up? TP Seeker, I think we spoke already. What's up? What's up, everybody? See, this is what y'all do. I'll be having like, I'll be like, I'm gonna be on for like an hour more, and then everybody starts rolling in, and then y'all start chatting. That's okay. I like when you guys keep me in overtime, so it's all good. Hopefully we get somebody that wants to disagree. Yeah, brother. Hey, take care at work. It's my Friday, so after this, we're about to go chill. I mean, I'm gonna record a video. Sorry, I already recorded a video. I'm gonna edit it, and then it's gonna go chill. I'm probably gonna play some Mortal Shell 2. I don't know if y'all played that. It's a pretty decent game, Mortal Shell 2. I've been enjoying it. I also play League, but I don't play League as much as I used to. Like, yeah, don't play League as much. Let's feed some people now. Look at all that money. This game was running when I was not playing. It's funny, a lot of my chill is making videos, by the way. I have so much in my head that when I don't get to talk about it, I feel a little weird. So it's almost like I would rather be tired, which I am. I gotten tired a lot lately. I'd rather be tired and be able to get this stuff out of my head than to not be tired and then like have all the time in the world, I guess. If that makes any sense to anybody. I care about the truth so much, man. Like I wanna know if this stuff is true so much. I think more than I don't know, it's weird to say. It's hard to say that. I can't say more than believers, I guess. That's weird. So I won't go there. But I think you get the vibe I'm trying to give at least, because it's like, man, I would say I don't pray as like I used to. Like I literally used to pray before videos and ask God if I was wrong to let me know. I don't do that as much anymore because obviously there's just still no answers. Never get an answer for anything. I've never once gotten an answer for anything. But I used to, like when I was doing more of my shorts, like I would do like I would just turn on the camera and start talking. But nope, never any answers, man. Hey, J Bud, thanks. I'm glad you liked it. I don't know. It just makes me think. There's no way. Oh damn, we got a drive through now. I'm tripping. There's just no reason for God to be that way if God is this awesome being that is discussed. I don't know, man. Like real talk. I don't think it makes any sense for God to not just let us know. And if that's true that God doesn't want us to know, that actually changes what we believe God is. Now, to be fair, I think we're making all of this up anyway. Just want you guys to know that so nobody's confused. I do believe we are making all of this up. I am just playing along with you. There is zero evidence of this being in existence. Zero. So that would just be a boring conversation. So I like to pretend that if this being existed, in no way does it make sense on what the Bible says the being is, right? Like the Bible version of God does not make any sense at all. Like it just doesn't make sense. It only makes sense when you pretend to not know how we usually talk, right? That's when the Bible makes sense. When we just make up shit and act like that's how we normally talk as humans, the Bible will make sense. So I know my channel can be confusing for some. I just want to say, like, no, I don't think this is true, but what else could we talk about? Like, we have to pretend like it's true. Oh, shoot, the Discord link says it's expired? That might be true. Sorry, hold up. My bad, brother. Definitely might be true that the Discord link might be expired. Oh, wait, the game's still going. There's no pause? You can't pause real life, Jay. Look, you can't pause real life. You can't pause. Hey, look at that. You can't pause real life. I like that. All right. All right, hold on. Let me get you. I don't think this link ever expired. I don't want to give people that link, though. Hold up. All right. Edit channel. Invites. Hey, bro. It say my link don't expire. Really? All right. I'll create a new one. That's weird. Generate new link. Okay. Erase this one. Okay. Okay. That's weird that the video ninja's not working for you. All right, I'm gonna test that link. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna get somebody else to test it because usually it works. And I'll say, unfortunately, there's not. There is zero evidence for these things, but we wouldn't have any good conversations if I just said, hey, there's zero evidence. Shut up. Like we're not gonna have any interesting conversations at all. Oh, this dude need more burgers. Bring him more burgers, y'all. Oh, I'm supposed to be drive-through only. That what's up? Great job. You're now ready to be manager. Wait, what? We got somebody trying to call in, so we're going to try to give them a little time. Oop, I threw away a burger. And like I always say, man, it's okay to just admit. I don't know why it's hard to admit. Maybe it is hard to admit. I've spoken to a buddy of mine where he was saying that he was actually afraid of me being right. Let me know what you guys think of that one. Like I literally had a buddy that said he was afraid of me being right because if I'm right about not being a god, then it's scary. Damn, what happened to my? Oh, there it goes. So I don't know. Let me know what you think of that. Sorry, the character of God is a spoiled brat. Come on, don't be mess. You know what I'm saying. The character of God is a spoiled brat. You guys know what I'm talking about. Don't be playing those games with me. This ain't the channel to play those games. You know what I'm talking about. I think I got lucky as a child. I was forced into situations where I was just, I had to accept being told I was just wrong all the time. It didn't matter. I was a very high level athlete at a very early age, so I just got thrusted into adulthood very fast. Pretty much did not have a childhood. So Yeah. That's my story. That's kind of why I'm like, I'm okay with it, man. It's like the evidence just gets shown and then you're just wrong and then you just get over it. It's like you just get over it. Jesus might have been a real person. You're correct. Saying Jesus is real, I don't know what that means. Like, if you think characters are real, like whether Jesus existed or not, I do think Jesus existed. But either, okay, I get that to you, yes. I mean, Voldemort's real, I guess. I mean, you're welcome to come talk to me about it. Line's open. You can't be sure Jesus was a person. No, you cannot be. And I'm messing with you a little bit, but you cannot be sure that Jesus was a person. That's not true. Too much time has passed. It's not no fault of your own, but too much time has passed for you to know for sure. I think, and if we last 2,000 years, we won't have proof that we existed. I mean, I guess to be fair, the world would have to get destroyed, I guess. But even then, I can see scenarios where we get so good with AI that people in the future have no clue if any of our videos are real, and there would be some different way of finding out if a video is real. But anyways, looks like we got somebody that wants to chat. So 1 second. Hello? I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, you're on. What should I call you?
I'm on? You can
Yeah.
hear me?
Oh yeah. What's your name?
I'm Benjamin.
Benjamin. I'm Jay. What you got for me?
Uh, I just started watching your YouTube channel, so um, I was wondering, you said that you'd be willing to talk about the last video you did. I don't think I've seen that video. Just wondering what that was all about.
Oh, so the last one was Cliff Netschel. I say his name wrong. I apologize to the guy. He's on a college campus just discussing with this obviously another student or a student about whether like where morals come from and how he gets his morals. So the video is way too long to go over, but the topic can be about God being a brat too. What do you think about
Okay.
that?
Like just the biblical God, or
What it depends. What's your God? If I'm wrong, yeah, you just describe the God that you have, and we'll talk about your God.
yeah, I'm actually agnostic, but that's usually what I'm talking about people with is the biblical God, and I actually probably wouldn't disagree with you on that. So
Yeah, but I'd rather talk about what yours is. You don't have any God beliefs, so I don't know.
yeah, yeah, I guess I don't know what I would talk about as far
Yeah.
as the is God a brat topic, because
How
I would
about
disagree
this?
with you.
Oh wait, you disagree that God's bad?
No. I said I
Oh,
would agree
oh,
with you that
oh,
God's
okay. I was like, wait,
God's a
that's
brat.
confused.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, when I say that, by the way, not unfortunately, I should do a disclaimer. I am saying all the gods that have ever been described are not real, or even if they were real, are bad. But I don't think they're real. This whole thing gets a little weird because you can't really have a discussion without pretending,
Yeah,
and
I get you.
that's what makes it tough. Like I have to pretend with you. So, but you said you just started watching. Let's talk about that for a second. I don't mind you letting me know how you found the channel and stuff.
Yeah, I just was scrolling on my YouTube feed and found you, and uh
What's your
decided to
first
see if
video?
you've been. What's that?
I said, do you remember the first video? I'm just curious.
I don't.
That's okay. It's okay.
I think may have been a Frank Turek one, but maybe I'm inflating that with a different guy.
No, it probably was because a lot of people recently have come from Frank Turek videos.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just, I listened to it. I like that you're just trying to be super honest and searching, and I don't tend to love a ton of what Frank has to say, if I'm being honest. So it was just enjoyable to listen to.
the thing that I like and why I do the videos is because even if he's a grifter, I appreciate that somebody will put themselves on stage to be ridiculed. Like, if you're going to be an asshole, put yourself on stage so I can ridicule the crap out of you. So there's a part of me has a very small mustard seed of respect for that. Like, that's if I could put it into any way. Like, because most people that are criminals, I'm not calling him a criminal. I don't know this, but most people that are grifters or whatever the case is go in hiding and they do it in secret. But he's on stage, man. He's on stage.
Yes.
So,
No, I
yeah.
hear ya.
All right, buddy. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for your support.
Of course, man. Thanks for, making the videos. Just willing to be, honest and search for truth.
All right. Thank you. I will keep doing that for sure. I can't help it.
Yep. We'll see ya.
All right, buddy. Thanks. Here. Yep, I don't mind people coming up to say hello. It's always good to introduce yourself if you can, if there's time. I think I did say somebody could introduce themselves. Obviously, it'll just be a shorter conversation. All right, guys, it's going to be our last call for anybody that wants to come yell at me. Last call. Like I said, there's the Cliff Neschel video. I don't know how to say his name. It's very long, by the way. So you guys got some content to go watch. So I'll get something out for you guys probably Sunday or Monday. Not too sure, but I have a new rule of mine. I will not be just releasing videos until they look exactly how I want. That's how it's going to be. So still going to try to do about 4 to 5 videos. I mean, that's like, I'm acting like I'm not doing a lot of videos. That's a lot of videos. I'm still going to try to do like 4 or 5 videos a week plus the lives, but I'm working hard out here. It's hard out here, right? And like I said, when November gets close, we are going to be transitioning into some kind of more how religion ties into politics. I think November is going to be important. We got to wake up. Everybody's got to wake up. So I'm not going to steer you in voting anyway, but I'm definitely going to hope and promote that we think better. Let's just think. I don't tell you how to do things. I just want people to think. That's all. Have a reason for what you're doing. And don't let it be some ancient book that was written this long ago. It doesn't even matter how long ago. This book was written by ancient men. 0 women. Ancient men wrote this damn book. What do you think it was for? It wasn't for us, by the way. It wasn't for us. Video Ninja should work, guys. I don't know why Video Ninja's not working. Like, that's like a surefire thing. All right, I'll copy this link again. That's for the Discord. If it was written for us, it was written to us. I don't know. Get that? All right, you can come and talk to me about that one. First off, man, can you be honest real fast? I get that you believe that. You have 0 way of proving that, right? Let me see if I can get at least one honest statement out of you. I get that you believe it, but you have 0 proof that it was written for us, right? Like, let's see if I can get that admission out of you. All right, we got Hasty Klein. Hasty Klein, that's an interesting name. Can you hear me?
Yes, it's me again.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Yeah, this is my second time. Remember I talked to you one time
Yeah, I've been waiting on you to call back. Hold on, let me get my screen set up. I forgot your name. I'm not gonna lie, but I know this voice. Hold on.
Mhm.
How you been?
I've been great. Well, I've had a little bit of health problems. You know,
All
this
right,
goes along with life. Goes along with life.
all right.
Um,
Go ahead. I'll let you speak first.
but yeah, I just if I'm not formal in my speech, just kind of forgive me. I'm just kind of talking, okay?
Okay.
But yeah, when you say God is full brat, I think that is fairly accurate statement because, and here's my explanation on that. My thinking is that if he was first to ever exist, okay, if he was the Alpha and the Omega, the one and only in the beginning, then he took it upon himself to create people and animals just for his own enjoyment, his own purpose, and the main purpose being to worship him. So that's kind of a number one. That's kind of narcissistic right there from the very beginning.
We
Uh,
agree.
okay.
Yep, we agree so far.
He didn't have to create anything. He could do anything he wants to, but he did that, and for that reason, because he was by himself, okay, alone, and he wanted company. He wanted somebody to worship, and and the and the fall of man scenario was very much a setup, because he wanted us to fail, and he intentionally did it that way because he knew it was going to happen. So he wanted us to fail, so we would have to run to him for salvation.
Okay.
Now
this does this
that's
definitely
my
sounds like a brat. This sounds like a brat. Yes.
that's my whole analysis of the very beginning
Okay, so what do you
of the
believe in
situation.
again? I'm sorry because you sound like you agree completely with me about the story.
Oh yeah,
But
oh yeah.
do you believe this being is real? Maybe that's our next question.
Um, they're talking about the God of the Bible, right?
Yes. Do you think that God is real or is it just a story?
I think personally, in the beginning, I was a Christian for, oh boy, I was born and raised in church from the infant. So I was born sitting in the pews, you know.
Okay.
Uh, but I'm 67 now, and only 3 or 4 years ago did I start thinking different.
Okay.
I was a Christian all that time. I was baptized at 18. Um, and there was a reason to be baptized too, because I was one of those that kind of went into a bad stage in my life, and I did something I thought was totally against what the Bible said to do. So I
Mm-hmm.
felt like my soul was in turmoil. It was in need of being saved. So I wouldn't go to hell. You know,
So that's when you
so
got saved.
I didn't get saved because I wanted a relationship.
Right.
Um, I didn't get saved for that reason. I got saved for the fear quotient. The fear,
I think that's a fear. There's a lot of fear in all of this, by the way. Yeah, I
the
agree.
fear, the fear element was the main reason that I got baptized.
So you no
Um,
longer believe? Is that what I'm hearing?
well, about 3 or 4 years ago, actually, I started listening to a lot of YouTube channels that were talking plain logic, um, just critical thinking, and instead of just brushing it to the side like I've done in years past, when you're Christian, you kind of brush things to the side, like, mm, no, I'm not gonna think that. No, it's got to be this way. I'm not gonna put my soul in danger by thinking anything other than what you taught.
You think it's
Or that,
funny that nobody they say something's in danger that nobody's ever proven we have. You ever think about that?
oh yeah, what but they swear if they had proof, you know. When you were coming up, they say, oh, this has been tested, the apostles and all this stuff, it's drilled into your head that it's been tested, you know. There's no doubt about it. So, you go with that when you're first indoctrinated as a child.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
And
you
that's
don't have
why
a
they,
choice. You don't have a choice. You're just a kid, and
yeah,
you don't
and
know anything.
that's why they grad at a young age. Okay, they don't many conversions. There's not many conversions that happen later. Most of the conversions happen when they're young. Okay, indoctrination time.
Yeah, well, it's the easiest
But
way.
Bible school, Bibles, going to church on Sunday with your parents, going to Bibles. This is when it happens. The majority of the time it happens.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I think we agree. Since we agree, we'll cut it a little short, but I think we agree there.
yeah.
But I appreciate your comments. Thanks for calling back in, Patsy.
Yeah, that generally is the synopsis of the whole thing. So, and there's
Yeah.
more I could say. I'll have to call in later about some other specifics.
Let's do because on Monday is our kind of like free day for people that agree with me more to call in. So if you can on Mondays, that's good.
Yeah, what time on Monday?
Monday is going to be like 4 p.m. 4 p.m.
Oh,
Sorry,
that's a good
it's
time.
4 p.m. my time, so I'm MST.
Okay, I'm Eastern. So
Okay, yeah. So when you on Monday, then you can go. I let the friendlies call in, and we kind of just chat it up.
okay. Well, I hope I answered your question. I'm kind of address that. So anyway,
Yeah, no. I appreciate your input. Thank you.
but I see him as a very narcissistic,
Yeah.
self-serving.
Oh wait, you didn't answer this part though. Maybe this is where maybe we're having a little disconnect. I don't know if you think the God is real.
Mm-hmm.
It,
Yeah, okay. At this point, let's just say after I read the Old Testament
mm-hmm.
and what I saw happen in the New Testament, what all went on in the New Testament, all the different, I would call it actions that were done, that were even done by God Himself, or He commanded it to be done. Okay. After
Mm-hmm.
I read all that and digested it, I'm more or less hoping that He does not exist.
Okay. I think you're and so you're still floating in the area. You're not sure, which is fine. The thing that got me was when I started thinking about the things that you're thinking about, and I'm like, it just doesn't make any more sense.
But I
That
was saying the
Go ahead.
reason I say I hope He doesn't exist is because He doesn't sound like He's worth worshiping. He's not worthy of being worshipped.
Well, see, I don't want to use fear to also not think. You know what? I don't want to use fear to make any decision. And let me know what you think about that. I think that is also a fear-based decision, saying like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I don't." Okay, yeah, okay, so that's cool. So I try to avoid that, and I dug deeper because I got to the point where you're talking about. I'm like, oh wait, God just might be mean,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I really like, but then I started thinking about other things and critiquing other parts of the story, and I
Mm-hmm.
came to the conclusion: if we can be wrong about so much, how can we even know that we're even right that this thing exists at all?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what starts to get me is like we are wrong all the time when we know we're wrong all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why we think a book that was written when we know that they knew less knows
Mm-hmm.
more. Like it doesn't make any sense. A book when we know people knew less knows more, and that's
Right.
a little strange to me. But all right, Patsy.
Well, yeah, I think it was, I don't know who said it, but it was some man in the past. I can't remember. They said, all I know is I don't know it. All I know is I don't know it.
Yeah. All I know is I
I
don't know
forgot who
anything.
it,
Yes.
yeah, some man that said that in the past.
Yeah.
But
I
that's
don't
getting
remember,
deep.
but I remember hearing that too. You're exactly right. And that's to
And it's
me,
all,
that is a great thing to say because it'll keep you searching. You're gonna keep searching.
yeah, and it's just, nobody knows anything. Nobody. And you all act like you do.
Yeah,
It's like, but then and go back to Pascal's wager. You know how I feel about Pascal's wager.
yeah.
That is like the saddest, stupidest. Because what are you gonna do? on Judgment Day. Oh, I accepted you because of Pascal's wager. I didn't want to take a chance. That God would laugh at
Yeah, I
you.
mean, even
I
at
mean,
that
so
point, you don't even know if we're picking out of the right option. Yeah, it's just
no,
a silly thing to say. I don't like Pascal's wager. I think I made a video on that too, where it's just like you have to have preconceptions on so many things in order for that to work. Like I have to know what type of God it is already. I have to know if the God can even exist. Like there's too many things you have to know, and then
and
there's too many religions.
and again, got to go back to that is fear driven.
Mm-hmm.
Pascal's wager
You got it.
is fear driven because you're
Fear
trying to
driven.
protect yourself from heaven. You know,
Yep.
so it's like it's coercion. It's kind of like a coercion. God has it. You
No,
know what I'm saying?
you're exactly. We agree. We're on the same page. We're
Is, is
kind of
the is the
we're
word
kind of tossing the champagne back to each other here.
is the coercion the right
It
threat
is yes,
coercion?
it is coercion. Coercion.
Yeah,
You said it better than me.
yeah. And the whole
It
thing is
is.
he creates us with this propensity to sin. He creates us that way intentionally with the
Yeah,
propensity to sin.
and since
And then he wants
since
to
me and you are being more honest, I'm actually going to say it doesn't make sense that God exists because why would an all powerful God create? We agree. So it's just like
other than
no.
other than he wanted to create you that way because he can have you in subjection.
Yes, thank you. And that's my next point. So
Okay?
yeah, we're pinging off of each other here because that
You gotta
if it does exist, that means that God is probably evil.
right.
Yes.
There you go, spoiled brat again.
Yes. All right. Hey,
So
we're gonna end it on that because we agreed so well. We're gonna end on that one, okay? Because
we
that
could
was
talk
too good.
forever, man. We
That
could
was
talk forever.
yeah, no, yeah, we can. So we're gonna save our next one for Monday, but we ended too good there. So I want to end on that right there. So thank you, okay?
I'll try to be better.
All right. All right, thank you. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, sometimes you got to end the conversation at the most perfect point. Because, yes, I don't think a lot of Christians or any believers really think about that. Because I am not saying God doesn't exist. I am saying every God that we have come up with seems to not be real. There isn't proof. It doesn't mean there's not some God up there. And also, if the Christian God is real in any way, that God you wouldn't like a person like that. Let me say it that way. I think that helps. Give a person all of God's traits and you get Homelander. I know everybody know who Homelander is. Give a person all of God's traits and you have Homelander, right? Like that's something to think about. Nobody likes Homelander. Come on. All right, guys. Last call, maybe last call. I'm going to give a last call out there. Don't just preach, please. Come up here and prove yourself. Don't just say Jesus is real. Come on. You guys know better than that. Like, if you really do believe, by the way, you should be so happy and excited that you can come talk about Jesus. I was that kind of person. I never got the people that, I mean, okay, to be fair, not everybody is outgoing. But to me, if you're willing to type Jesus is real, you should be able to come up here and talk about it. You should be so excited every time you get to talk about Jesus. You should be so excited to talk about Jesus. Like every moment you get, you should just want to talk about Jesus. So excited. Oh, man. Hey, let's hit those buttons. Let's get us to 6K subscribers. Let's do it. All right, guys. Might be coming to an end. I'm starting to hear this dog bark out my window. Getting a little hungry. See? Don't forget, so we got Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. Since Fridays seem to be going well when we start at the 2 to 3 time, we're going to continue to start around this time on Fridays, so you can mark that on your schedule. Mondays and Tuesdays are around the same time anyway. New videos almost every day, but for sure every other day. And yeah, we'll keep growing, man. We'll see. If you haven't seen the Truth Wanted podcast that I was on, you can go check that out as well. We got somebody that wants to be the last talker. It's gonna be a short conversation, but we'll see. Hello. Hello. Oh, hold up. Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. What should I call you?
Hey man, it's Alberto.
Oh, Alberto. What's up, man? What you got?
Kind of just had a thought there regarding your prompt, I guess, about obeying and laws and rules or whatever. I mean,
Oh, from
just to kind
one
of
of the last calls. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So maybe just a thought. You can bounce off of it if you want. So essentially, when anyone receives instruction, I perceive a difference between following something just because you see an example, and then you follow something because you're told. So I immediately think of like school, right? Like most kids hate going to school, but they love hanging out with their friends. There's two different environments, and you can learn stuff from your friends even though that they don't necessarily give you instructions. And I would say that there are basically two types of instruction. One is kind of like the corporal, rule institution. The other is more of like a relationship, a kinship, where there's like a more conducive. It's more based on, I would say, different category. And sure, we can label that love or just maybe a mutual relationship. So I think there's maybe a conflation between when people say, why would I follow a God that gives you rules, or that, he commands you to obey him, and if you don't, then he does this and this and that. Okay. Opposed to when the objection would be, well, yes, a relational following would be not because of rules, but it demonstrates a behavior. And without that relationship, then you're kind of bound to not follow instructions. So then you need rules. So, I mean, I'll stop there. So maybe if something you wanted to kind of interject.
Need rules. I say we need rules because we can't trust something and then it will harm us, right? That's the only reason we need rules. Would you agree with that? Like, because of harm. Because of harm. Let me just make it really simple.
Because of harm?
Right.
I would say it's because there's... Okay, yeah, sure, we could say two. That's kind of like the negative way of saying it, because then you could say, well, because there's good.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. That means you get what I'm saying. The fact that you say that means you get what I'm saying. So that's why I have a problem with the traits that at least the Abrahamic God has, because that no longer applies to that God to me. Because the God cannot be harmed, which means the rules are pointless. So the only reason you would have rules when you can't be harmed is because you're, excuse me, you are actually the negative factor in the situation. Like, you don't have to do something, but you do it anyway. To me, you're the negative part of the equation. Like, God cannot be harmed, so there should be zero punishment. That's the actual scary thing about God that I don't think people realize. Like, God should not have to punish anyone because God can either stop all harm or can't be harmed. So now it makes it pointless. This is why people go to the free will thing, because it's literally maybe the only answer. But guess what? Free will doesn't even make sense when it comes to Abrahamic God. Like, it almost doesn't exist when it comes to that God. So it's like, the whole God destroys itself to me. So let me know what you think about that.
Yeah, perhaps I'm not following quite
Yeah, ask
fully,
questions
but
if you need. Sure.
yeah. So okay, so you're saying that humanity, or I'm just gonna say man. So if you're saying man is the negative because
No, I said God is the
God,
negative in this.
oh, God is the negative.
Correct, because God does not have the only. Let's go back to the premise that I had. The only reason you need rules is because people can be harmed. God cannot be harmed, therefore God having rules is stupid. That's how I could say it.
Okay, so I mean, the first thing that kind of pops to my thought would be that, well, yes, I would say God cannot be harmed in the sense of like you know, like we can, for example, we fall and trip and scrape our knee kind of thing. Um, so that's because of God is spirit, and I would say, okay, perhaps that's the whole prophetic purpose of the word taking on flesh. So it's like he became flesh to be harmed, so to kind of absolve or reconcile that which could not be completed through the disobedience of man. Like I could see it, that being reconciled through that. If
Yeah,
you're
but
trying to say
even
that, well,
that's okay, because even that still makes no sense in my category, or sorry, in my premise, because God doesn't need to do anything. Because the only reason you need to do anything, which is needing to make rules, is because of harm. There is zero things that God needs to do. So now, to me, I'm not saying God could not have done what you're saying. The question
right.
is no longer, um, is God good anymore to me, because that automatically answers God is not good. So if this God is real, the first admission that everybody would need to make is that God is not good. Like, and that's why I brought up to the last caller, if God, or if a person had the traits that God has, besides the being God all powerful part, you know what I mean? Like, if we gave God, if we gave a person all of the things that God does in the Bible, we call it bad. And then we just say God did it and it's no longer bad. That's literally still saying God is bad. Like, God does not need to do anything, which is why God is bad if God is real or God doesn't exist, or that God
Because
doesn't
he did
exist.
something.
Because God doesn't need to do anything, and I'm told that this God did something. So that right there to me proves part of the Bible's wrong.
Okay, let me make sure I'm following with that. So you're saying that because God did something instead of not doing anything, that makes
Yes,
him bad?
because God is perfect, correct?
Right.
All right, so
So
a perfect thing doesn't need anything, which means if it does something, it's doing it for some other reason.
you mean creation?
Sure, yeah, whatever it is, we can go to
Well, what do you mean
creation
by
now.
doing something?
Well, I wanted you to say where it's going to go, right? So you said creation, sure.
Well, I asked if that's what you meant when you said did something.
Because I don't know. Like, if we're granting that this God exists, there could be other universes that did some reason it did. Oh, you know what? You're right. I apologize. I guess the only thing a God could do is create. Is that your point?
No, but I mean, as far as we know, with let's just take God out of the this example or what I'm about to say, just for kind of the conversation.
Okay.
Like, let's just say we say, okay, well, the only thing that exists is matter, right? So we would say, well, the only thing that is the creation. So that's kind of what my question is, like, well, if the people, or if the statement is, well, creation is the only thing that exists, then you inject God back into it, and you're saying, well, if God did something, that means God would have had to create what we can observe, right? So that's why I meant, like, or that's why I asked, did you mean by doing something, does that mean creating, or
Uh,
does it mean
this
something
is a
else?
this is a tough one because I can't imagine what else God could do or would do. So that's why I asked the question. I guess more for my clarification, maybe. Can you think of something else God would do besides creation?
Love.
Yeah, but you would need to create something, right?
Well, if that's the actual nature or essence or quality of God.
But how can you love by yourself? Like
Love is
say God's
a
the only thing there
description.
is.
No, yeah, but love is a description of that which you're pointing to. So, I mean,
Okay. Keep going. Keep going.
I guess love would be this idea of relation, like relating to that thing that we call love. But it's something that is not like binary. It's not what's the word? It's not like a a one thing. It's like multifaceted, right? Like love
Oh,
can
sure.
be,
Yeah, love is a bunch of we call a bunch of
so
things love, right? That what you're saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, love can be relational, but love can also be, a disposition or an attention or, um, like a bunch of other things. So I guess, um, that would be, and that kind of like ties into what you were talking about with the whole, like, rule and obeying thing, because, like I said, there's like the categorical error that can be made of trying to make the institutional kind of corporal, um, rule book type of obedience equate to a relational, following because of direction or or example. Um, and I think love would be the medium by which you end up obeying without necessarily having a rule book in front of you, which is why, for me, when I kind of, um, look at what the instruction of, like, when, the two royal commandments, right, of love God and then love your neighbor, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that to me speaks of this, like a return to the Father, which is a return to love, which is not bound by rules, but if you abide in that, then you are fulfilling any rule that could ever be written down, and try to be followed without love. So I think man without love is subject to trying to fulfill, good behavior by following a list of instructions.
The only
But
problem
with
with this
love,
is the fact that um in the stories, that's all we can go off of. God commands things that we consider not loving.
yeah, and that would be perhaps, a categorical thing, right? Of, do we see this because of our sense of injustice or our sense of completion, or like where do we think we stand in reference to something that may
But
be fulfilled or could have been fulfilled?
shouldn't the fact that we have such a deep disagreement on some of these things, so deep to the fact that we contradict ourselves by saying person can't do that, God can. It literally is an admission to me that we know it's bad.
Well, I'm not trying to justify anything. I'm just saying that, like, history, right? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you and I can't, um, try and, I mean, sure, we could try and rewrite history, but we kind of have to either accept or reject or be in denial of what our parents did or our grandparents did, or and so on and so forth. And so in that sense, whether we can say something is good or bad that happened throughout history or in generations, it almost results to the present, and the present is the thing that always matters, because sure, you can say, well, the past was necessary to get here, but even though we're here, then we're the ones that are kind of now either going to fall in suit, right?
I agree with the present part. Yeah, present is the only thing that matters. I agree.
So to me, I mean, there's a lot to be said about trying to, in retrospect, look back and say, well, you know, I can judge God better than anyone.
Because I figure you're going to go to the judgment part. The reason we can judge God is because the present is the only thing that matters. And as what we would do in our society as human beings, we try to, our goal for our offspring is to be better than us, to learn more than us, to be able to do better than us. This is the only thing, for some reason, we pretend, I call it pretending, that people or anybody would have known better in the past. So once we say that there's something.
No, I disagree with that. Like, people don't necessarily have to have known better in the past.
But we're saying God knew. They spoke for God. God is in the past. Well, no. That's the only proof that we have, right?
Well, would you agree that, I mean, just because somebody would say, like, or would you agree that even God's people did not obey him at times?
They did. Well, I don't even care about the good things they behaved him in. It's the bad things.
No. Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of what I'm trying to get at by saying, there is this abiding or rejecting in, whether we specifically address the Israelites, right, or the nation, the small nation that God chose, or rather kind of bestowed his like covenant with them. I think that I'm not necessarily saying that who are we to judge, more so why would we ascribe to ourselves the judgment necessary to judge a God that is outside of, or that can know the beginning from the end type of thing. So it's like, it's not that
because we have no choice. We have no choice, because we are present creatures. You cannot not be present creatures, which to me is another proof that there is no way that the version of God that we have is correct, like, at all. Like, I don't even want to cherry pick. I just play the game sometimes, because this is how I came to this conclusion. There is no person ever on earth, or any person that I don't think it's possible for anyone, because we're so limited, to be able to understand a being that is outside of its own limits, which means even the thought of what this being would be like would automatically be wrong. Like, you literally are wrong just by the whole the prison that we're in. You will automatically be wrong. We have zero evidence of God. We don't know what God would be like. We don't even know if God is possible because of our limits. Go ahead.
Well, okay, so even if we went with that, then what would...
Go ahead.
Why would we even attempt to judge him, or say that why would God
only because people follow?
Would not do that.
Only because people follow this story. I don't make videos on Sasquatch and people believe in Sasquatch even though there's no proof. If nobody made rules off of this book and voted off of this book or raised their family off of this book, I would not be talking about it. It's the fact that it is so ingrained in our society and people literally make life or death choices off of it. Now it is trying to present itself in a higher criteria than it really is. It's no longer just a book. So I judge those things just like I would judge any Like anybody like making a car, we should judge them and scrutinize them for every reason they have for not including a safety feature or having a safety feature. So in this scenario, we have a book, which is the car, that was made horribly. And we're telling people to get into this car knowing that our safety features that we have in the future are way better than this old ass car, but we're telling people to literally risk their lives in it. And that's like the best scenario or best analogy I can come up with at the moment.
Yeah, and so I mean, I would say thank God that neither you or I lived in the times described in those stories, right? Because we're kind of sheltered from what you might describe as the horror or the terror of living in those times.
It would be like if I lived in that time, I would just deal with it, right? Just like right now.
Well, how do you know?
Because the people that were there did it. You're a prisoner to your time, right? We're like there's people that right like will think that how did they survive in 2026? There will be people that say that.
Well, that's probably my point, that we can criticize other periods, but the fact that we're here and we have kind of like the outline of this story. And by the way, there is you can follow. I mean, you said you used to be a Christian, so you know kind of the fulfillment and the prophetic aspect of the timeline as it weaved through stories in and out. So
I mean, there's a lot of wrong things in the Bible, but I don't want to really go into prophecies at the moment. I want to kind of stick with.
I mean, sure, we can. I guess what I'm trying to say is like even if you granted that, okay, well, sure, let's just look at the claims of the book, right? If there is this fulfillment of the book or of the stories within it, then it's no longer like bound to the like. I wouldn't say that the stories are, prescriptive to the people that would come to read it. In fact, the scripture says it's for your example, right?
So what do we do with people that try to use it in our recent time or like in our modern times? What do we do with those people?
Well, I mean, that's exactly right. Like, what do you do with that? Because I remember our last conversation is like, well, how honest are people with that? Because
they're not allowed to be. The book doesn't tell you can be honest. I wish it did. It doesn't tell you to be honest.
Yeah, because it says, what happens to liars? Do they
they would call me a liar for calling out the bad stuff in the Bible.
Well, it doesn't matter what others would call you. I'm just saying,
I'm sorry. The Bible would call me a liar. Let me not say they.
What they would call you. I'm saying what you're saying it doesn't tell us to be honest, but I would say yeah, because liars do not inherit the kingdom.
Got you. There's no proof Jesus Christ rose from the dead. I'm going to hell now.
Well, I mean,
that is literally an honest question, or that is literally an honest statement. So why would I go to hell for that?
Well, God knows your heart, right? So you can say that it's.
But do you see what you just did? Are you saying that? Hold on, maybe that's not what you're saying. What are you answer this point? I guess. Am I going to hell for not thinking that there's proof of Jesus Christ rising from the dead?
Well, I would say you reject God's
gift. I'm not rejecting. I'm saying there's no proof.
Yeah.
That's not rejection.
Well, then I don't know what's going to happen to you from today until, your last breath. So,
well, it's funny. This was the video. So this was the video today, by the way.
if you die, you shaking your fist at God and
no, I don't even shake my fist now. I don't think that it's real. There's no shaking my fist.
Disbelief. So you know the example, right, of the Israelites not entering into the promised land because of unbelief. So there's the answer.
Wait, but do you see my point on how that's horrible?
Why? I mean, why should people be granted access? Like, do you let just random people into your house?
If I could trust them, I would. Yes.
Exactly.
Remember what I told you.
Exactly.
Thank you. You just hold on. You're saying exactly, but you just proved my point, brother. So welcome to my side. My side is God cannot be harmed. He doesn't have a reason to do anything. There is zero reason.
Is God spirit or is he?
Bro, That doesn't matter, brother. God cannot be
Yes, it does.
harmed. But wait, let's go back to what you asked me. Why don't I let people in my house?
No, I said, would you?
Yeah,
Would you let just anyone in your
okay.
house?
Yes, but I would. I literally would if this criteria was met. If I could trust every single person
Yeah,
that
and it's the same with God, in the sense of you're
bro,
gonna let those
you missed it.
you're
You
gonna let
missed it.
those in
We've been so
who
close. No,
essentially
you just missed
abide
it.
in you.
No. That's not it. That's not it. The reason I don't is because I'm afraid that they can harm me or do harm to my family. That's it. If I was Superman, I don't care who comes in my house, bro. Like it literally.
You would.
Well, see, now I can be harmed. Like you're literally saying what I'm saying.
Well, you're the one that said Superman.
No, but I'm glad you did that because it's proving my point. Can God be harmed? Let's go there first. Can God be harmed?
God is light, and there's no darkness in him. So why would anything that be antithetical to him enter into him?
So wait, where did darkness come from?
Well, I'm trying to maybe parallel to what I think what you're trying to say, and saying, well, God is light, and there's no darkness in him.
So are
why
you
would
saying
he let darkness in him?
Are you saying the darkness could harm God?
No, I'm saying it's antithetical to him, so obviously it can't enter into him. So that's why I'm trying to say that, okay, what enters into God's kingdom? That which is akin to him?
Isn't everything God's kingdom?
No.
What? Like, so God didn't make everything? Now, I don't know where your God is then, I guess. Maybe that's the confusion.
So just because, I mean, that would be pantheism, right? People that believe that God is that God is nature.
Does anything happen? God. Does anything happen without God? Because I thought we established that at the beginning. God
created all things.
Okay, but so then that to me
does that mean it doesn't mean that all things are God.
If God created all things and they came through God, God is everything. Yes.
Well, I don't see how you arrived at that.
Okay, so then how did God? Well, yeah, because I'm assuming, this is me assuming. Let me know if I'm wrong. Did God make creation out of God's self, or did God make creation out of nothing? And then that's going to be a really difficult conversation for me.
Well, I mean, as far as I understand it, it seemed to me that it was from a void, right? There was.
Then I don't think you agree with something being able to be made out of nothing. I would assume you agree with that.
That I agree with what? Sorry?
That something cannot come from nothing.
Well, if you are bound only to the physical, then I would agree with you.
Right, but all we have is all right, no, sorry, I don't want to go there because that's a different subject. I want to stick to what we're doing. All right, so I still I have a problem with the nothing, but I don't want us to get off track because that's literally a whole different conversation. So let's go.
Let's go back to the rules and obeying if you want.
Okay. So the harm, stick on the harm part for me, because I think that is a very important thing. If somebody can't be harmed and they do something that harms somebody else, I call that a bad person.
Yeah. So I'll bring it back to this example that we see right in the Bible, referring to being taken out of Egypt, then brought into the Promised Land, and then that kind of being a shadow of the kingdom which was to come. And so, if we're talking about the kingdom, it's I would say the permanent, eternal existence or reality, I guess, if you want to call it that, of being in the presence of God. So the only thing that I was trying to say about what enters that in response to you're saying that that the Bible doesn't tell us to be honest, I was trying to say, like, well, there is a bunch of descriptors of what does not enter into the kingdom, and that's always related to behavior, and because behavior is I guess a manifestation of what we have in our hearts. So if your heart's not right, then your behaviors aren't going to be right, and then therefore that should be a manifestation in creation that we can all observe of what is not or antithetical to the presence of God, which by the way, we're told that we're being made perfect in him.
This would
because
tie
of
back
this
to what I
legalism.
was saying though, brother. Like this ties back to this all makes sense if I read the Bible and every story in it, I was like, holy shit, I can't believe this story. They did the right thing. That doesn't happen. So where do
Yeah, a
I
lot of times they did the wrong
but
thing.
but it comes from God sometimes. So it's like, where do I get that feeling from? Like, what is that? Like, why am I saying that? Hey, God commanded this, and it makes me feel nasty. Everything
Well,
that God does should make me feel great, right?
no, because I'll give you an example from my own like experience. So, I mean, and maybe you can relate too. So, a lot of the times we don't like to be told that we're wrong. And a lot of the times we also reject something that actually is useful or actually true, quote unquote, but we reject it because of multiple reasons, right? And the same, for example, is a case when you read the Bible, because a lot of the stories, of course, we can say, well, they happened, hundreds or even thousands of years ago, so why would it apply to me? Now, I found it very interesting to read certain parts of the Bible where I saw myself reflected in that, and I didn't like what I saw, right? In the sense of like, but at the same time, there was another part that said, there's actual wisdom in this, and there's no reason for me to reject this, but rather to be an opportunity to self-reflect. And I think that's the purpose, and that's why I mentioned that even in the New Testament it says, well, the scriptures are for your example, for your benefit, right? So that you can know that this was kind of the fulfillment of what was to happen in the days that they were living in, and to see what
Okay. I
the
think I get
entirety
our
of the history
misconnect.
of Israel was
Yeah.
as a fulfillment of being like, well, all that time and all that effort and all these kind of trials and tribulations of that people now is being fulfilled in us. And
Yeah.
so in that sense,
Okay. I got you.
the past cannot be without the future, and the future cannot be without the past. So to me, it's a very profound kind of thing, and to see kind of the past in, I can look at examples of the atrocities. I mean, Bible aside,
Yeah.
and being like, wow, how disgusting is it to be a human being, And in fact, I see this in society today, right? With the whole idea of like colonialism or like all these other things, right? That we can in modernity can kind of ascribe to the past. But at the same time, it's like, well, why am I being so affected by this emotionally when like we're here and we have like this great opportunity, and we can actually learn from what has
Yeah. Yeah.
supposedly happened and stuff like that, and
All right, hold on a
like
second,
there's
sorry,
no.
because I don't want to forget.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Because I get where I might have been having a disconnect on why I thought you didn't understand what I'm saying, but since you're saying, and I agree with you, only when we're talking about our humanity, we should not judge the past the way I am judging God in the past. But as soon as we put God into the equation, that's where I have a problem. The only reason I don't judge the past is because I know these people were just like me and are making mistakes. But when I put God into the scenario, my vision of God, which could be wrong, that's why I'm saying this book is wrong, is that there is a perfect being that cannot be harmed. So every situation that this being is involved in should be the situation that causes no harm, because it doesn't need to harm. So this is where I'm saying I think you would need to answer a question to me, or not answer a question to me, but answer this question of that God doesn't exist then, because that's not what we see in the book, or that God is what we would call bad. Because those are the answers to me. If this God is causing harm without needing to cause harm, we would call that bad even in our modern times. Screw the Bible for a second, because there's horrors going on right now. So if we need to
Yeah.
stay into our time, let's stick in our time. And I am saying, even right now, there are still horrors that go on that this God that cannot be harmed does not need to allow. I call that a bad person.
Right. um one or try and, because I was you kind of sparked a lot of thoughts here, but essentially what I could respond here is, you mentioned that you wouldn't judge man or our history
No,
as
because they're
harshly
stupid.
as you would. What? Sorry?
They're stupid like us. I hope in 1,000 years we're called stupid.
Right. So I would actually disagree, because I don't think man is stupid necessarily in the like normal sense of the word, but in fact, I think that if we say that, for example, there is no God, we ultimately by default end up making ourselves God. So that's what I see actually in modernity, without going to the past. But like the idea that we kind of are the makers of our own future, we are the ultimate arbiters of truth or judgment, whatever, that kind of thing. Then that actually puts all the blame on whether things go good or so-called bad, right? But then you would have to say, well, what's the measure of that, right? Who is going to actually enforce this rule of measuring of good or bad if there's no standard? So that's what kind of it gets messy for me, because
It
if
doesn't get
we end
messy
up
for me
putting,
there, because and I get that's where that's the only place that we can go as human beings. So I don't even want to jump on you for going there, because we do need standards because we're social creatures. That does not mean that there is some standard. I think every single human being has the right to make the world they want, how they want to make it. It is my job to find enough people that agree with me to go against it. I don't think there's a necessarily right or wrong. I think there's just, I don't want this happening to me. I don't care if it happens to you, back and forth, blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't think
yeah.
there's
So
this real right or wrong. So you are
okay,
correct.
so
Hold
just
on. Let me finish.
yeah. Go ahead.
Because I think you're correct. And that's what's scary to people. And that's what makes people want to follow BS. Because it's so scary to think that your neighbor has just as many rights as you to harm you as you're saying that they don't have to harm you. And that's the truth of nature, by the way. There are no rules in damn nature that a tiger can't come eat the gazelle in the middle of the night if it wants to. Like, there's no rules. That's how harsh nature is. There's no rules when we go to space. Guess what? If you don't have the proper equipment, you will die. There are no rules because that's not how it works. So I'm not afraid to say that our morals are from us. That is true. I don't need to found them in anything. So I don't agree when people say that. No, who cares? That's the truth. You better gather enough people that agree with you. Because guess what? We've seen in the past, if you do not, you will die or you will conform. That's exactly how Christianity spread, by the way. Like, it's Christianity spread is proof of what I'm saying.
Yeah. If you follow the, I mean, I reject the kind of chronology that we're given, so maybe but maybe we'll save that for another conversation. But just to respond to this idea of that we're stupid, and that we kind of are just relatively kind of figuring it out, and we will come to conflict with another group that kind of does things differently, but that there's no good or bad. So then what would allow for this kind of moral indignation or righteous indignation, and to say that another group is doing harm to you?
Because I don't like it. Like, it's literally that simple. And they could tell me the
Right.
same thing, by the way. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
this
Well,
literally
but
doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter,
that's my
brother. Like, they
that's
have
my
a right.
point.
I am saying they have a right to tell me that they're like, a racist has a right to tell me being racist is the best way to be.
Okay.
They have that right. I don't
Yeah,
care.
that's not dispute. That's not my that's
Oh,
not my
okay.
contention.
All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Like, I would agree that yes, they all are going to be demonstrating this right, or what you want to call it, to basically do something that will inevitably be against the rules or the behaviors of another group. So, and that describes history, right? So
Yep.
like whether there's the god of Zeus or whatever, like, and going all the way to the supposed Stone Age, if you believe that, but like it doesn't matter then, because what I hear you saying is that, well, it doesn't actually matter. So moving us forward from here is just trying to find the group that will eventually kind of wipe everyone else out.
Or the group that because I believe we became the world became what it is because enough of those people that thought that killing everybody was the best died. Not all of them. And that's why, as crazy as it sounds, war has rules now. That is a part of the progression that I'm talking about. You don't need God for that. There's a group of people that survived that didn't want to die all the time. So we created a society that now we have rules for killing people. That's kind of funny when you say it, but because you like there's no rule of like you never can kill somebody. So we made rules because of course we're always going to kill people. That's because the people that didn't agree with those rules died off, and that's how these things happen. And eventually, maybe one day we'll be like the Book of Eli. And I don't know if you've seen that movie, but maybe one day it ends up like that. And guess what? Somebody like me will not survive. I will get slaughtered. My family will get slaughtered because I am not ruthless enough to live in that world. And I will be gone. I will call it wrong as they chop up my family and me. I will call it wrong. But guess what? It doesn't change the truth. It doesn't make God real. It doesn't do anything. The fact of the matter is, I am just lucky to be born when I'm born. And if I was born some other time, I would still just be dealing with the consequences because I have no choice. Like, none of this is proof of the God of the Bible. It only proves that since we both agree that these things happen, that the God of the Bible cannot be the real God if God exists. Because why would that God allow the system that we both agree is true? Wait, did I just mute everybody? Oh, sorry, brother. I muted you on accident. Go ahead. Hello?
It's just me.
Oh, wait. Oh, wrong person, brother. My bad. I don't know if you dropped off. Oh, you dropped off and came back. That's what happened, man. Dang. I was sitting there preaching and shit. What did you miss? Yeah, I'm talking to you, my man. God, what was your name? Sorry. Was it Andrew? Oh, no, wait. God dang it. Hello? He's messed up. Ah, man, I just did a whole spiel too. Like, I don't know if he heard me. Like, I felt like I hammered my point down there.
Well, at least it's recorded.
Dang. Because we got to exactly where I wanted to go, and I don't know. Dang it. Let's see. Hey, maybe come back. Hey, bro, you there?
Hey, man.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead because I'm running a little short. I got to take my daughter somewhere, but I said so much. I don't know what you heard.
No, like I missed the last like 2 minutes. I dropped out here. I don't know, just froze.
Okay, let me just tie it up real fast because I was basically short summary was I was saying that if the world became like the Book of Eli, I think I and my family would be dead, and I would die screaming that this was wrong, but it doesn't change the fact that that is just reality. So, with that part, I think we could agree that that is a possible scenario that one day our world could turn into how the Book of Eli is. It's a movie. If you haven't seen it, it's the end of the world. Everybody's shitty to each other. And they go back to killing each other all the time. That world could exist, and I would no longer survive in that world because I am not that ruthless. With that being a reality, that means the biblical God, if it exists, would have to be evil in order to allow that. That's kind of my point to everything I'm saying.
Yeah, I would say that I have seen that movie. That it's actually interesting, and just a little pushback on that, but the whole idea of the movie, and I don't agree with all aspects of the movie, but like the whole purpose is that the word was preserved to this man through the miracle and all this other stuff.
Yeah,
But
don't worry about that part. Yeah, don't worry about it.
yeah. I the only thing that perhaps I would push back on is that even if we say that reality, let's just even say that reality was in the past.
It could happen in
It
the
doesn't
future.
mean that. Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, let's just pretend it was our past for
Okay.
this argument or this thought. Is that eventually it was for a different scenario to happen out of that. So something that was horrible that we can say perhaps in retrospect, or even in let's just say you lived through that. But say that there is such a thing as, life that continues beyond the grave. So it wasn't the end. It was just a perceived reality where some people were left desolate because that was the only thing that they held on to. And if you can just revert back to that movie, the people that were vile and violent and did all these things were people that actually were antithetical to God.
Yeah. So well, the villain, I don't know if he believed or not. It was weird. It was kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, you mean the character that Denzel played?
No. The guy that wanted the book to rule over the people. It wasn't
Oh.
wasn't necessarily saying that he didn't believe in God. He just knew how powerful it was. So it's very hard to say if he believed in God or not.
Yeah, I mean, even if he did, right, it doesn't mean that just like, if people say to Satan, yeah, like Satan knows that God exists, so he believes God exists, but doesn't mean that he's
Okay, you
gonna
agree with that. Okay.
spend an eternity. Yeah. Yeah,
All right,
man. Well, I appreciate
yeah,
you
that
having
was
me
good.
back on.
I did like that. Definitely hit me up again. I think our buddy Pyro's got something for you. But literally, guys, it's like 2 minutes and then I gotta go. So I'll let you ask your question.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I guess there was a lot of things there that I was trying to listen closely to, but the one thing you were trying to make a distinction about, like obeying, versus like one being told and another being a relationship. I guess I would have a little question, like, how can you obey somebody that you're not in a relationship with? Like an atheist, for instance, doesn't or isn't convinced there is a God, so there's no relationship there. So how can
Well,
that
that would
work?
be the distinction that I was trying to make. That to a person, in this case, an atheist, to follow supposedly God's rule, would
But
be
there's
kind
no
of,
relationship there to
yeah,
follow.
that's my point. It would seem as this like burdensome thing that, like, why would I even have to follow this stuff? Like, it doesn't make no sense, or this or the other. Opposed to, let's just say a relational a disposition from another, person Y, and they might not even refer to the written word, but just by mere transformational renewal of their spirit, they end up behaving in a way that is in abiding with the character or the behaviors of God that are described in the rules, but they're not doing it by making a checklist of like, okay, yeah, I'm following this. Yep,
Well,
this one too.
I don't necessarily think you answered my question, because I'm asking, if a person isn't even aware of a God, right? Then how can they
Yep.
be aware of any rules that they need to obey?
Well, I think that there's like what we refer to as like conscience. So like we
Right.
have, because ultimately, if I'm going by the description of the Bible, we do have access to the knowledge of good and evil, but without the truth, we're kind of dead in the water. We're left to relativity, and trying to figure out, which one's which. But with the
I think
truth,
those are a lot of assertions you just made. Consciousness. Yes, I think I'm conscious, but I don't think
no,
I'm.
not consciousness, conscience.
Yeah, I think I'm conscious, right? But
No,
I
you're
don't.
conscious.
You're saying we all have a feeling of what's right and wrong. Remember, I
Yeah,
said
like we.
I don't know about
Oh,
Pyro,
I understand what you're saying.
I disagree with that a bit. I don't think we all
Yeah,
know.
so like I don't think we all know. Again,
No, I'm saying we haven't like we have the ability to call one thing good and one thing other things bad,
Oh,
but
okay.
that's just like Jay was saying. He sees this as relative, that each group or each person can have their own kind of standard of what that is.
Sure,
And
but here's my thing, right? Because again, I don't think divine command theory or Christianity gets you to any sort of objective moral standards. Because at the end of the day, it's just your subjective preference over which book that you want to follow. It's your subjective preference of if you like God's subjective preferences or not. It's like subjective top to bottom.
sure, I understand your perspective. All I was saying is that the relational aspect of a behavior that would be considered, I guess, righteous or virtuous or non-harm or that which God wants for man, I think is only arrived to through love, the love of God. And so any other attempt at that is bound to fail.
Well, I don't
And that's kind
understand
of,
what you mean. You keep referring to this relationship, but again, there are
yeah, a
people like me
relationship
that aren't
because
aware of a relationship. I don't think I have a relationship with any gods or God.
right. And but you might say you have a relationship with love, or at least your understanding of love.
All
Right?
right, guys. Sorry, it's getting close. Hey,
But yeah, I don't want to hold you guys up.
no,
But yeah,
you're
to
good.
me, yeah, the
You guys
relationship
can,
thing don't make any sense.
yeah, you can close. Guys can go on the Discord too if you chat afterwards. But all good. I think what I got out of that one is the fact that if you could kind of see what we're saying in the way of we're not coming from knowing God exists, so saying God is love and God is anything kind of isn't saying anything, and then maybe attack the conversation in the way of understanding that saying God is love doesn't mean anything to who you're speaking to. So that's kind of all I can say at the moment, but I appreciate both of you guys, and I'm about to hang up this portion, but thanks guys for calling.
All right.
All right, man.
All right, bye.
Bye.
All right. So that was good, guys. Actually, a lot of calls. I guess Fridays this time is good to go. I appreciate everybody calling in. I got to run and do some family stuff, so got to take care of your family, bro. Thank you, guys. As always, I'm Jay. Don't forget to throw away your feelings, open your minds, and question your beliefs. Don't forget to check out the video today. Peace.